Welcome. So, we are not really playing as much today. But there was a post on the forums that Hardcore League would be at, like, later this month, or at the end of the month, or something like that. So tonight, we are making hardcore builds. And what do I mean by hardcore builds? Well, as far as I am concerned, hardcore builds mean no tomes, or potentially a +2 tome. Also, for the purposes of these builds, these are to level 20 builds, or maybe like 21. Because I have never done the Reaper grind, and I'm not going to be making builds for that. So these will be either for for just getting to 20, or for doing 5k favor, which means you basically just get to 20. Especially with Isle of Dread out now, you can hit that on your way up as well. There's a lot of favor in the game. You can technically finish when you're like level 17, but you know, there's no real need for that. So, where are we gonna start? Well, as per the stream title, we're gonna make builds for every class, and I suppose we'll just go in alphabetical order. So we're gonna start with an Alchemist. What do we want from our Alchemist? Well, Alchemists are int based, and they have 3 different trees. So we're gonna take a quick look at our trees. And you can see that we have Apothecary, which is kind of a healing / negative damage tree. We have Bombardier, which is a nuke tree, and we have Biochemist, which imbues weapons. So, Alchemist is a little weird. But let's see what we can do here. So, we're going to pick an int class. We're going to pick True Neutral, because we can. If we can pick True Neutral, we will. So, what do we want for our int class? There are noises outside the window. This is fine. Nothing is wrong. We're not going to go with Deep Gnome, but we'll just go... Do we want to be a normal gnome? Normal gnome is okay, but the problem with it is that we're going to have terrible strength. So, we'll go with gnome for now. And what do we want? Well, basically, with the 28-point build, getting max int is too expensive. Those last 2 points costing 3 each, we can use that better elsewhere. So, we do want con. We'll get con up to there. And we're going to bring strength up to 12. Now, why do we need strength? Well, it's Hardcore League. And there are things at low level that will cast Enfeebling Ray on us. And it will drain our strength. So, among other things, strength is carrying capacity, and you know, gotta have your loot. And strength is the ability to not be made helpless by Enfeebling Ray. So that's why we're gonna take that up to 12, and we'll dump our last 2 into... we can get a reflex save here on Dex. It's fair enough. So, then what do we want as far as these are concerned? Well, we're going to take Maximize to start with. Take Maximize, we will take Quicken. And note that there are 2 different spells that I can take as Alchemist. There is Quicken and there is Accelerate, which Accelerate is apparently not available yet. So, take Quicken, we get an Alchemist bonus. Now, there are a variety of things we can do with this. So, we can take Orchidium, we can take Verdonite, and we can take Pyrite. So, this is Crimsonite and Guildleaf. This is Guildleaf and Ceruleite. Basically, this is red and yellow, this is yellow and blue, and this is red and blue. So, we're going to take... We're going to take this one. And we're going to take... What else do we want? I mean, we can always grab toughness, of course. Or mental mental toughness if we want. But the whole point of this is that we want... I suppose it'll make more sense if we start here. So we're going to have a negative nuker / healer. So healers are very nice in hardcore. It gives you some sustain, it helps your party out. Unfortunately, the downside to being a healer is that you can't stay in purple stance. And purple stance is a lot of defenses, so that is the downside. But we're gonna explore around here a little bit. I've only done one Alchemist life, so this will probably be the least well thought out build that we do tonight. But we're gonna go to Apothecary. We're going to take Cure Light, because early on the ability to cure is nice, and there's a lot of undead around. So Inflict will be better later, but there's so many undead around, and there's a lot of grouping going on hardcore, so that'll be fine. If you're not grouping and you're not going against undead, take the other one here, take Inflict. And of course, because this is a first life, when your action is Verdant, when you cast spells on yourself or allies, you temporarily grant temporary hit points equal to some amount of your intelligence. No, we're starting at 18, so 3 points in here means every time we splash this, everyone gets 18 temp health. So we're probably going to want this. And the reason we want this is that one of the worst things to happen in hardcore is you get one-shotted. And it happens. Like, sometimes there's a champ that throws a fireball and it hits you for 150 damage at level 6. So, yeah. What do we get here? We have Healing Amp and Positive Spell Power, which is nice. Alright, this gives us the ability to actually heal toasters. And there are a decent amount of toasters in Hardcore League, because they're very strong. They've got a lot of good immunities. And this is just straight up Healing Amp. So, we're going to take the temp health. That will let us hopefully save people from... Oh, what now? There we go. That will let us hopefully save people from being one-shot. We'll take 20 positive spell power, which is a lot, especially at low levels. And note that I'm assuming we have no universal treats, because this is the first live character, and yeah, nothing is unlocked. So we're probably going to drop into here as well at some point, but we will get to that in a minute. So we will take Cure Serious Splash. So this will be at level 6, which is very, very good. Yeah, we can throw all of our meta magics on it for free, which is very nice. This is the ability to cleanse things. In fact, it cleanses damn near everything. And, you know, the damage is and the healing is not great. But the ability to say, let's see, confused, dazed, dazzled, deafened, no one really cares about that. But it does clear blind, it clears exhaustion and fatigue, which can make people helpless. And poison. Like disease, poison, blind, and others. So we'll put at least 1 point in that. It cuts cheaper and stuff if you... and lower cooldown if the others, but I don't expect we'll be spamming that. This is not that much. So safety goggles is nice. Armor class doesn't do a whole lot at low levels unless you invest heavily in it, and we will probably be in robes here. So the resistance is nice, especially against dots. So we'll see if things change when they announce the Hardcore League. If there's something special with dots in it, that would definitely be the way to go. But we're going to take some crit. Now we are 18. We'll take an int. Still the bad stuff. And this is a cone. Cone is not really great. But note that this is a debuff. So if stuff is all in your face, you can blind it. And blind is just as good as having displacement. So that is incredibly good. And of course, if they get tripped, thunder, paralyzed, that is nice too. And it's only got a 12-second cooldown. So there's that. And it reduces magic costs and a bunch of other good stuff. So move speed. Move speed is always nice. Whether it's running through quests to speed run or the ability to kite things. So that is very nice. We'll grab this. We will take more maximum spell points because we will be short, being that it is a first life character. And we will take some... We'll take another int. We're not really caring that much about DC, so we will actually take elemental resists first. So what is this? No max caster level. Okay. That is pretty nice. And of course we get DCs. We have D20 plus heal skill. So heal skill is interesting. Heal, I believe, scales with wisdom. And so even if we put all of our points into it, we're still only going to be like 20 something. But it is... Oh, never mind. Let me reread this. Okay, so you have to debuff them first, and then they have to make a fortitude save or die instantly. And it's touch range. We don't want to be in touch range. So we have Nightshade, which is a 6-second no slave sleep on a 30-second cooldown. Or we have Deadly Neurotoxin, which is a debuff. Now, the ability to take a champion or a Reaper and just say, you go to sleep, is very, very good. And of course, we will take the cores, and this is Curative Admixture, heal. Curative Admixture, heal, as in the heal spell. Incredibly powerful. And of course, we have Cure and Inflict Wounds. We already have heal, so we can inflict critical here. This is what we're going to be doing with this character, is we're going to be doing both of these. So we will take another int. And we'll do that. What did we skip? We skipped Healing Amp. We skipped Haggle, Concentration, and Heal. We skipped Blindness Immunity, but we can remove it. We skipped Slippery Surface Immunity, but hopefully we can get some Freedom of Movement boots or something like that. Or run with the Druid or Priest. So we will take the Capstone. The Capstone does not matter that much because, as mentioned, we're probably only going to 20. Now, what do we want in order to support this build? Well, we can take just a red, but we're not going to be doing any red really. We're going to be in green stance, which is yellow and blue. So we want Biochemist instead. And what do we want out of Biochemist? Well, we don't care about attack. We don't care about threat gen. But, you know, we can stiffen skin. It's an SLA. And, yeah, the rest of this stuff is not really useful to us at all. So we'll just take the skills. This is an Imbue. Melee ranged attack. Poison spell power. Here we go. So we can choose between Permanent Blur and 10 Heal Amp, 20 positive spell power. I think we're going to go with Blur, so we might move these points around over here. And we're not going to bother with this attack. Now, it's entirely possible that we could make this into like a thrower. So we actually use the imbues and throw stuff at range, but we're going to have our inflict SLAs, so we probably don't care about that much. This is to hit and stuff. This is to hit and stuff. This is to hit and stuff. But sure, we're gonna go with a ranged attack. My reaction is Orchidium, so that doesn't actually help us on the passive. Yeah. These require you to be purple stance to get your PRR. So we're gonna... Yeah, nothing here is actually that useful, which is unfortunate, because most of the stuff requires you to be in a certain stance, and we can only be in one at once. Now, we could say it's like, well, we're going to take this just so that we can... we'll take this just so we can switch over to blue as needed. So it's like, alright, we've got a blue, we've got a... We have yellow, we have blue, we have red. Blue, we have red. And we can use these to switch stances as we need to. Now, that's possible. But unfortunately, like, all these things require us to be in a certain reaction in order to get the passive bonuses. So instead of worrying about this permablur, we can actually come here into Gnome. And gnomes have this lovely ability to get permanent blur from the racial tree. Also take greater color spray. We don't need illusion DCs, those don't help us much. We'll take more int. And the rest of this stuff does not really help us that much. So we're going to see what else we can get in these other trees. Like, what are we going to get? Well, on the way up, if you do Feywild, you'll get Feydark Illusionist. Feydark Illusionist means we could get more defensive stuff, we can get more spell points, we can get fear immunity, we can get a variety of stuff in here if we get that. If we go through Ravenloft, we'll automatically unlock Vistani Knife Fighter. Vistani, first thing, doesn't give us anything, but we can get more defenses here, we can get more of this sort of defense, we can get deflect arrows with 6 points. So really there's a lot of flexibility that we have here. And we can come up here, we can get the int, we can maybe pull off, put a little bit more stuff over here, but really, what do we want for awareness? Listen, spot, search, illusion DCs, nimble reaction. So we can just dump a little bit more points into these sort of defensive things, max dex bonus, and that sort of thing. What is this? This is Wave of Poison. It's a cone, and as I mentioned on cone, we don't really want to be that close. And then we've got 8 points to spend. These 8 points can go into whatever universal you happen to unlock, because all of them have some good stuff. But in general, this build is going to be supportive and try to heal, but it will also run like inflict potions and throw inflict potions and blow stuff up with negative spell power. And we get some of the good stuff here out of Gnome. So what else do we want? Because we have Maximize and Quicken. We can also take others. So what do we want? We want Toughness, because why not? Alchemist bonus. Alright. We can take caster level here. We can also take defenses here, wherein we get our intelligence to a different kind of save. Now you'll note that our worst saving throw is will, because we have reflex saves from something. Why do I already have int to reflex? I didn't take insightful reflexes. Or do you get it automatically? Insightful courage, In any case, I guess you get it automatically. So we can take Insightful Courage if we want to just shore up our will saves a little bit. But we're going to go a little bit further in on actually having our spell levels. So Crimsonite and Cerulean versus Crimsonite and Guild Leaf. We want Guild Leaf. So we're going to take that. And then here, of course, we can take Empower Healing because we have healing SLAs that we can use. We'll take... Do we want Accelerate Spell? Or we can just continue taking other things. So, yeah, we'll take Accelerate Spell. We'll take another bonus, and in this case, we will take... we can take more Meta Magics, of course. We can take Liquid Luck, which gives us Evasion, which is very nice, especially since so many traps in Hardcore have reflex saves. So, Liquid Luck, very nice to have. Like, what's it competing against? Okay. We got poison stuff. We can do more stuff with our saving throws. We can take more offense. But yeah, we're going to take Evasion. Then here, we can take Empower. Or we can go in for Toughness or Mental Toughness, depending on if you're feeling a little bit squishier versus not. We'll take Toughness again. Now, you could swap these out for, like, Empower or Heighten or something, but it's Hardcore League, a little bit of health doesn't hurt. And with the set of meta magics we already have, we're not too concerned about our ability to deal damage, especially if we're going through on Elite. So we have another Alchemist bonus here. We have Advanced, which gives us max caster levels. Max caster levels don't matter too much for certain things, but we will take it for Verdonite. And then once we come here, again, we can take Heighten, we can take Empower Enlarge, we can take Eschew, we can do all sorts of things. Most notably, we can come down here and take Toughness. What is that? No. So right now we have 3 Toughness. Again, you could swap these out for meta magics if you feel like the balance needs to be more towards some offense. You can take Accelerate Spell earlier, you can take Empower Spell here, you can take Heighten, you can take all sorts of things. You can take Spell Focus for Transmutation and stuff, because being in the green stance means that you will probably be throwing some crowd control around. So overall, this is probably decent. Yeah. That is about as far as we're going to go with this. Of course, we will take all int. And let's look at spells real quick. Spells are behind my face. Spells. What do we want? We'll take the good stuff. So we'll take Fine Dust. This trips things. This is crowd control. We'll take defenses. Well, we'll take these defenses. Elemental resists, which is incredibly useful against dots and low-level spellcasters. We will take whichever one you don't have the SLA for, take the other one. So we'll take Inflict Light. Since we took the Cure Light as our SLA, swap back and forth as needed. You're an Alchemist, you can do that. You can learn all of these and just prepare certain ones. Flash Powder lets you blind things, or rather, no, this is an enemy gets stunned. That's not the one we want. We'll take Lesser Evolution. This lets you get +2 to any given stat. You can choose which one you want. And we don't want Obscuring Mist. We'll take Stiffened Skin, though we do have an SLA for that. Level 2. We have Charm. Oh, sorry, no, this is the Insightful ones. We'll augment Armor, of course. We will probably not need Remove Curse at this level, but we will want it at some point. We'll take Glue Bomb because it's an incredibly effective. It's incredibly effective CC, and it is at range. You can just straight up throw that. There is a reflex save on it, but probably not too bad. Melt Armor is a good offensive spell, but we have enough other offensive spells. So we'll take Restoration, remove Exhaustion and stuff, so people don't get helpless. And we'll take... what do we want for our last one? Liquid Courage. Morale bonus. Help your trappers out. No, wait. Oh, never mind. This is self-buff only. That's fine. You can still use heroism for that. Again, what do we want? We want crowd control stuff. We'll take displacement for defense. We'll take evolution for stats. We will take flash freeze because it's incredibly good. We can take elemental weapons to buff people's weapons. And we can take... If you really, you're feeling it, you can take an inflict or a cure serious here. There's a lot of good offense at this level. Yeah. You can also take melt lock. If you don't have someone to unlock doors for you, you can take melt lock here. So again, we can take boosts. These are all good offensive things. Cinder Smoke is nice because it blinds, and AoE blind isn't very handy. We can take Smoke Bomb, which, you know, it's only 12 seconds displacement, and we do have the other displacement thing, but it can be useful in emergency. Flesh to Gold is, of course, useful crowd control, and this one we can't actually get. We can take Stone Skin for the extra defense, and of course we can take, oh, let's see, what is this one? That one reduces PRR, this one reduces MRR. Again, debuffing isn't going to matter that much in Hardcore League. We can, however, take this Confusion one. Mostly because we're going really hard on crowd control and relying on our inflict spells to deal the actual damage. You can swap this around if you want to, grab like Caustic Overload or Volt Toxic Burst. Like, that's fine. There's no real problem with that. Flashbang. Flashbang, if you notice, it blinds them. If they're already blinded, it tries to stun. If you throw a Cinder Smoke, they will have to you'll try to blind them, and then Flashbang can stun them. Or you could just mass Flesh to Gold. You can grab a multi-vial, like any multi-vial. It's multi-vial. It's multi-vial. And of course we can take Creator Evolution, and we can take Turn to Frog if we want. If we just want to frog single threats, we can take Frog. We could take Greater Elemental Weapon if we want to buff our allies. Or Greater Stone Skin if we want just 20 damage reduction off the top. Of course, at level 6, we got Heal from our tree, so we can take Harm. You can take Elemental Fusion. We can take Gold Skin Potion. We can take Gold Breath. And we can take Dust of Confusion. So, really, there's a lot of utility and crowd control in here, and then you've got harm spells to blow things up. And, yeah, that is about it. To play this, you will mostly be staying in green stance, you will be crowd controlling and nuking things, and healing people and cleansing stuff. And that does it for the Alchemist build. We will save this as... HC... Alch... Scene? Save. And we move on to the next one down the list. Once the builder catches up. There we go. So once again, we will be neutral if at all possible. And we'll be Artificer. Now, for the purpose of the exercise tonight, we will be sticking with pure builds. There are good reasons to say Splash Artificer in other builds. But we're looking at pures right now, purely for the sake of simplicity. So, what do we want to be as an Artificer? Well, one thing that Artificers have going for them a lot is that they have trapping abilities. So we're going to go hard on that and say that we're going to be int-based on this Artificer. The question is, what kind of Artificer do we want to be? And what, say, race do we want to be? Now, I'm going to say we pick Warforged. Now, this does make this technically not free to play. Because Warforged is the unlock at 400 favor. But, you know, if your first life died, but you managed to get 400 favor, you can come here and be Warforged. So we have our neutral Warforged, and we're going to go in, and we have two main choices here. Do we want to be a battle engineer, as in, do we want to use crossbows? Or do we want to go for Arcano Technician and be a nuker? We're going to have a lot of nukers on this list because it's what I know best and what I like to play. So we're going to go over here and we're going to stick with being an archer. Now, a lot of this is fairly straightforward. We're going to take all the crossbow stuff. We're going to take... Alright, so here's the thing. If you can find it, you can usually disarm it, because tools have pluses on them and all sorts of other reasons. But, unlike some other trees, there is no spot and search in here, so we'll just take disarms. We can take a action boost power, but we won't right now because we're going to have Fusillade. So we'll take this, we'll take that. We will take a caustic shot. We'll take this, we'll take more stats over here. We'll take this. We don't need to disable constructs. So we'll take these. And what else do we want? We'll take this, Racking Shot. There we go. Right, so we take crossbow training, we take Fusillade because Fusillade is amazing, we take more int, we take extra double shot, and we take that. So that's 30. We're going to take all the cores. The downside to this and this build is that your crit multiplier is at capstone. So if you're only taking this build to 20 in the in Hardcore League, you don't get crit multi. Like, you just don't, which is unfortunate. Take Thunder Weapon. And we'll take this, more crossbows. Like, see, you get crit range with crossbows, but crit multi is in the capstone, because reasons. Okay, so there's our Master Engineer, and of course you won't go straight for this. One good thing that the RD trees do have is Renegade Master Maker is an excellent tree for defenses. So we can take a Cure Light Wounds Curative Admixture, which at low levels, like just putting 1 point in this so you can occasionally splash heals on you and the rest of your party is incredibly useful, even if we are Warforged and therefore won't get that much healing from it. But we can take extra hit points. 15 hit points at low levels is incredible. While wearing medium, heavy, or adamantine body, we get automatic immunity to magic missiles, which is also very useful. Healing Amp is very useful. Armor class actually is effective at low levels, so we will take that. Again, Cure Serious, very nice. More armor, and what do we have? More PRR. PRR is always nice. We'll take another int, though you can also put that for con if you wanted. And what are these? That's a melee attack, that's a melee attack. This is Repair, Heal, and Balance. This lets you heal other people with repair spells. How many points do we need? Okay, we'll actually get the Shield and Construct to help other people not get eaten by magic missiles. We'll take Constructive Conduit because max health and repair amp. And note that it wants Adamantine Body, so we're going to be running Adamantine Body. Now that does mean we won't have dodge, but we probably won't have dodge anyway. So, we can spend 6 points now. 6! To get the Reconstruct SLA at a decent cooldown. Reconstruct SLA, very handy. Like, amazing. Kinetic Charge is not useful because we're not melee. This is a lot of defenses. This is 3 points for 6 Constitution and 15 Magic Resistance. Radiant Force Field. Ward and Construct, not as useful. So we still have 8 points. We can come over here. Fortitude is a little bit harder to come by on hardcore. So we're going to take that, we're going to take that, we're going to take that, we're going to take some health, we're going to take more health. And there we go. Now note that you will probably build out this tree first. Like, you'll take the points here for a little bit of healing, a little bit of health, and you'll take your immunity to magic missiles, then come here for Fusillade, then come here for more defenses, and then come back over here later, like at 12, 13 or so. And then this stuff can come in later. Like, probably put these 3 points in, because 3 points for 10 health is still pretty effective. And yeah, so let's look at feats now. Now, Artificers get rapid reload for free. So we are going to take rapid shot. No, we'll take point blank shot. Take point blank shot. We will take adamantine body early. Actually, wait. That will give a... I don't think that gives spell failure on Artificer spells. I might be wrong on that. We will take precise shot here. And we want precision. Where is it? Oh. It helps if I actually put points in here. Alright, so we have low charisma and wisdom, but we have int. As before, we're going to take int high enough that we don't spend our 3 points on it each. It is more useful elsewhere. And now for our last 8 points. 15, 8, 16. Why do we need Dex? We need Dex for... Alright, we're going to assume a +2 tome from Favor. So that will come into be a factor later. We're going to come down here. We're going to take Precision. Wait, no. No, we're going to change up the order here. We will take Precise Shot there. We will take Rapid Shot here. We'll take Precise Shot here. Can we? No, it's not an Artificer bonus. That's fine. We have other stuff that we wanted. We will not take Improved Fortification, because that's a terrible idea. It means we can no longer be healed by positive stuff. We are now immune to it. So, yeah. We'll take Quicken here for a bonus, because we are really going to want to quicken our healing SLAs, especially the Reconstruct SLA. We will come here. We will take... Where is it? Starts with P. Precision. Now that we're up here, we should be able to take Improved Critical Range. And as our Artificer bonus, again, not Improved Fortification. We can take Weapon Focus Ranged, but we don't really care about that. So what we will take is Empower Healing spell. Now, why Empower Healing? Because we have healing SLAs. That's the reason why. Now that we're here, normally this is where, like, oh, we can take like Improved Precise Shot up here and all, but at this point we have our basic ranged stuff. We have a little bit of our casting stuff. This is where you have some filler. So we can take Augment Summoning to make our dog a little healthier. The dog is probably not useful, but if you're running Elite, it can be surprisingly useful. We can take Dodge for a little bit more defense. We can, of course, scroll down. And look, we can take something like Insightful Reflexes, which will give us a lot more reflex saves, especially since we don't have evasion and we might need to walk through traps for trapping. That is a good option there. And also, there aren't that many other good options. So it can be that, or it can be Toughness. Artificer bonus. Again, there's a variety of things we can do. We can get Extend spell. We can take a little bit of Weapon Focus. We can take Maximize. We can take a whole bunch of different stuff. We'll say augment summoning, but again, most of this stuff won't matter that much. And here we can, of course, go with our old friend, toughness. Now, you could argue for like improved precise shot, but one, I don't think we have the dex for it, and two, you're not here for AoE. You're just not. You're going to be running in groups, let other people nuke the AoE, and you get to pew 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 with your repeater down the other things. Speaking of which, you can use repeaters or great crossbows with this. Like, either one will work. And, yeah, we'll take weapon focus ranged. Sure, why not? We're going to take a quick look at spells. Spells. Artificer spells. You automatically get repair spells, so you can heal yourself with these. Note that we can take Reconstruct. Where is it? Is it level 6? There it is. Reconstruct. If you don't have the points to get the SLA yet, you take the spell itself. But Artificer spells. Note that this character is int-based, and it does not have a into damage or into anything anywhere. So we will take Enchant Weapon, we'll take Conjure Bolts, we'll take Enchant Armor, we'll take a Blade of Armor, and we will take Resist Energy. Very handy to be able to toss on whatever resist you need. If you know there are electric traps, if you know there are guys that are going to cast poison dots on you, having the ability to put up resist to whatever you have in the quest is exceptionally useful. So here we can take the buff spells. We can take Curative Admixture. We probably don't need to, because if we went 11 points into Renegade Mastermaker, we have an SLA for this. We can take Insightful Strikes to start with. This lets us use int to hit. And of course we can take Lucky Cape. Lucky Cape is handy. We can take Elemental Weapons to help buff other people. We can take Protection from Energy. Again, if you know you're going to have to run through a trap to disarm it, you can put this up. Especially places like Three Barrel Cove with that fire corridor. Fire resist, fire absorb. Jump through, take a hit, put your protection back up. All that good stuff. And we can take Reinforce or Toughen Construct if we want to beef up our pet a little bit. Okay, we can take Blast Rod if we want, but more likely we will take Insightful Damage. Note that once we cast Insightful Damage, we can't have Insightful Strikes on anymore, so we will have to choose between them. Unless you are not free to play and you actually have Harper available, in which case you can take 3 points out of somewhere and just put the 3 points in here for int to hit, and then use Insightful Damage use the spell for your int to damage. But yes, so we can take Stone Skin for a little bit more defense because it is Hardcore League. We can take Flame Turret just because it's a distraction. You can take one of these, even though, again, we have an SLA for this. Probably, you might not at that level, but you can take, of course, Remove Disease, and you can take Adamantine Weapons, just in case you need Bypass. 4th level spells, again, Armor of Speed is nice. Lesser Globe doesn't have a whole lot of use. If you want to buff other people, if you want to debuff things, Thundering Armor isn't super useful. Protection from Elements is exceptionally useful, and again, Cold Iron just in case you need it. Level 5s, again, Aligned Weapons is handy so that you can bypass whatever you're running into. Radiant Force Field is handy if you know you're going to take some hits. Tensors, we don't want Tensors on this build. This is a ranged build. And, I mean, it's fine, actually, as a ranged build, just not as a caster. The downside to Tensors is the component that it takes to cast it, and the short duration on it. Like, if you'll keep Tensors up, it's a really handy spell to have. You get extra armor class, you get extra constitution, both of which are really good on hardcore. But the short duration and needing to use potions as your spell component when, normally I don't care about plat on the main servers, but on hardcore, sometimes plat's a little bit harder to come by. So, yeah. Oh, and we'll take Remove Curse. Remove Curse is very much a thing. And, of course, we can take Arcane Tempest if we want to. This is a ranged build. It has no AoE, so maybe we just take Arcane Tempest to drop on a doorway after we pull things. It doesn't need a whole lot of spell power to do a whole lot of damage. So, it's ridiculously powerful. And we're int-based, so we'll have the spell points for it. We'll take Deadly, because Deadly is amazing. And... none of these are particularly compelling. We can take Repair Critical Damage Mass, but there's not great odds that you're going to be in like a full robot party. So, yeah, we'll take Mass Protection from Elements, but really this is not a compelling slot for spells. You come down here again. There we go. So yeah, that is our Artificer build. As I mentioned before, we're going to go up here. So you can use repeaters or great crossbows. I like repeaters to start with, especially if you are not free to play. If you have access to Harper, then you get a little bit of the health and healing here, and then you rush into damage, and repeaters blow everything up. So you can take that route, because that is going to be way more effective than coming into Battle Engineer first. I still recommend starting in Renegade Master Maker, because 15 health at the first level or two is very, very strong. Maybe drop the 3 points in here for another 10 health. Again, you don't want to get one-shot by a random champ throwing a fireball at you. You can get Magic Missile immunity early, but really it depends on what you're having issues with. Also, if you have Harper and you're having trouble finding traps, awareness. Drop some points in it. Because, especially on hardcore, even if you're doing nothing else but getting traps, you have earned your spot in the party, and you will be appreciated. Also, if you have Harper, more maximum hit points. So, basically what I'm saying is, this build works fine without Harper. It gets a lot better with Harper. Especially since you can grab early health, searching, int to hit, int to damage. Know the angles. You probably won't have enough int for know the angles to make that big a difference at low levels. I mean, let's be honest. Because especially since we're starting with 16 int, because we wanted dex in order to get our feats. Yeah. So that will do it for the Artificer build, which we can now save. Save this as course. HC Arty ranged. And we'll move on to the next one in the list. New build. Come on. You can do it, builder. I believe in you. Alright. Neutral. Next one down. Barbarian. Alright. It's Unga Bunga time. Barbarian is going to probably be the easiest build that I do on here. Because Barbarian no need think good. Barbarian hit thing. And we will take some int for skill points and some dex. Yeah. So what do we want with Barbarian? We want two-handed fighting. We want power attack. We want improved two-handed fighting. We want improved critical slashing. We want greater two-handed fighting. And we want toughness. This is all we care about. We are Barbarian. We hit things, and we get hit back. That's what we care about. So, what do we do for our enhancements? Well, it's hardcore. We value survivability. What are we doing? 1, We're not going to bleed out. Straight up. Extra unconsciousness range. Going to take some extra rages. Take an attack. We're going to rush Blood Tribute. More health. We're going to come over here. Get 6 AC and some magical resistance. Get an extra dodge. More health. 12 PRR and MRR. Extra resist against those pesky dots. Extra hit points and healing amp. Knocking people down when they cast spells at us. More health. More damage. We're not going to worry about this. We will take this. We'll take more con. Lots of con. All the con. And then what do we have left? Well, we need 4 more points to spend before we can get our capstones. So what are we taking? We're going to take Extended Rage. 2 points there. We're going to take 2 dodge. Alright, we'll take Force Ward, which is immune to magic missiles, far later than we really need it. And we're going to take this top level stuff. Vampiric Bond is very, very good. Occult Meddling is very, very good. Because it gives bypass and critical threat and multiplier, which is incredibly useful. We'll take 1 point in 1 spirit. Actually, we'll take all 3 points in it. We'll take 2 points in it. So, the cooldown doesn't really matter, because you're not going to build up weapon bond stacks fast enough. It's like, cooldown 15 seconds? Yay. You're not going to get 100 weapon stacks in 15 seconds. Granted, if you're capped at 200 stacks, you can use it, and then 15 seconds later, use it again. But mostly this was for the extra health. And then, of course, we can spend the rest of our points on defensive stuff. We can grab more strike through if we want it. We don't really care that much. We can grab offense here, or we can just come into dwarf. Be like, hi, I'm a dwarf. And we're just going to use axes. We're going to assume that we're using axes. We can take... This gives us 5% quality, but it costs 6 points. And I think we already get quality. Yeah, we have 10% quality here. So we don't need to spend 6 points for 5 quality here. We will take armor class and max dex bonus, maybe? Right. We'll take all these things along the bottom. We'll take axe training. We'll take more axe training. And we need 2 more points, which means we can either get saves, we can get this so that we can drink alcohol to do things. Okay. Again, more to hit and damage with axes. We're not going to get throw your weight around because we're going to have more strength and constitution. And it's only to damage, not to hit. So, we don't care about that. Which gives us a couple options for our last 13 points. We can come over here and get cores for more healing amp. So if we want to do that, actually we can do that over here too. So we're going to take 3rd point here. We're going to get constitution, we're going to get more health. And we have 9 more points. So we can come up here and get another 60 health. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to get sprint, just in case. We're going to get more points in Die Harder. Normally you wouldn't take this, but it's hardcore. And as I mentioned when we were talking about earlier, we want to avoid being one-shot. So an extra 10 health buffer of how far negative we can go is very handy. And then, you know, we'll get 10 strike through. Why not? I mean, we could also take 2 extra action boosts. You know, if we want to sprint more. And then more health. And we have 1 more point left, and it'll go into AC. Nothing too terribly complex. What are we missing out on? We didn't take Barbarian Power Attack, which is probably weaker. We went in for more defensive stuff. Although really, if we want to take these out, those cost 2 each. That's 4 points. So we lose 2 hit and damage for 6 damage. So I think 6 damage is better than 2 to hit and 2 to damage. So we'll take that. And yeah, that just about does it for Barbarian. Barbarian is fairly straightforward. We went Dwarf for a little bit of extra Constitution. And yeah, once again, we're ignoring epics because I'm treating these as only 2 level 20 builds. So we will save this. It is very, very generic Barbarian. We went Occult Slayer. We chose a couple different things because of hardcore, like we went double toughness here. But in general, it's a Barbarian. It does things. For Occult Slayer. Next. Builder decides to cooperate. Okay. Next one after Barbarian is Bard. True neutral. Bard. What do we want to be as Bard? Let's do something a little funky here. So far, I've been mostly sticking to free-to-play. We're gonna go away from that a little bit, and we're gonna go with Tiefling Scoundrel for the Bard. Just, for fun. For a little bit of variety. So, Tiefling Scoundrel has some interesting things about it. So let's look at that tree. Tiefling Scoundrel tree lets us hit things with Sonic power, and it has Fire and Sonic in it. So you can see that we're getting Fire and Sonic, Fire and Sonic, Fire and Sonic. And then if you look at the things we have, use your Sonic as if it were Fire and vice versa, which is neat. But that's only if we go that deep. And we probably won't, because Bards have a ton of good stuff. So the question is, do we want to be a support Bard, or do we want to be a melee Bard? And the answer is support Bard. I will always go support Bard because, and by support Bard I mean nuking Bard. Magical Studies. And of course, what do we want to get first? Well, we're going to take Evocation. Not only for damaging spells, but because stuff like Sound Burst early on is Evocation and is quite effective crowd control. So we're going to take Shout, of course. We're going to take a lot of buffs. We will take Inspirational Melody. Like this, we'll take this, we'll take that, we'll take that, we'll take this. We'll actually not take that, we'll take that. So this is like the baseline, what we want out of Spellsinger for a support Bard. Now the question is, do we want to go into T5 here and get Horn of Thunder and Spell Point Regeneration? Or do we want to go Warchanter? So we're going to look at Warchanter real quick. So, of course, we'll take defenses. Defenses are always good. Normally, I wouldn't take this, but it's hardcore. Now, this is not nearly as good as Blood Tribute. For one, it only gives 100 temp health, not 150. For two, it has an actual cast time. Like, there's a delay before it goes off. So, you can cast it before you go into a group, and that sort of thing. But it's still very handy to be able to pop 100 extra temp health as needed. We like giving people resists, as we mentioned earlier, especially when you have to deal with stuff like mobs casting dots on you. It's very, very helpful. We'll take more in Charisma, of course. We will give everyone damage reduction and PRR. We will take more Charisma. We'll take this, which now uses Charisma for temporary hit points. Again, constantly taking temporary hit points on everyone. It helps bring everyone a little bit further out of one-shot range from that random champ caster that's going to cast a Fireball or a Frost Lance or anything like that. A little bit of extra health on top is exceptionally useful. Right. Universal Spell Power, Double Strike, Double Shot. We'll take Medium Armor because we won't have Evasion anyway, and it might help us wear different sets. So if we want to go all the way up to the T5s here, we'll be able to take a couple more things. Completely immune to fatigue is one of them. Victory Song, range of the aria is doubled, which is handy. And what do we want up here? We can take Rallying Cry. Rallying Cry is handy, though in hardcore people are less likely to just straight up boost through everything. So we might not prioritize this. That's 6% crit for everyone. Or sorry, just straight up 6% damage to melee and ranged, 6% crit for spellcasters, including you. We don't care about this, we don't care about this. And we'll take the point in this. I don't know what the extra points do. Oh, uses per rest. Again, like most spells of this type, this is a very, very slow cast. So, yeah. Now, what is the top of this? Again, capstones don't worry us too much because we're only taking these builds to 20, so we're never really going to use the capstones. But we probably want 31 points here, just in case, so we'll take these cores. We're going to ignore capstones because we don't care. And now we have 12 points to spend. Charisma. Extra resists, equal to character level. Exceptionally useful. I have magical training. In any case, we will take spell saves and extra 20 sonic power. More resists. And then this is Fiendish Arpeggio, Flesh to Stone, no. Buff our Ballad. This is a melee line, so it's not super useful. This is nice as far as enchantments and all go, but not like a game changer. Requires 15 points, not 10. Yes, of course. So if we wanted to drop points out of somewhere to get this top line, we probably could if we want some extra DCs, some max caster level. And though max caster level on enchantment spells is just like more duration and more spell pen, so it's not actually that good. Well, the DCs are good, but you know. And yeah, we don't need Staccato Sovereign. So yeah, that'll do for that. Do you need Tiefling Scoundrel for this? No, not at all. Did it just for funsies. So, we are a nuking bard with a lot of support spells. What are we doing? Well, we're doing the things we would normally do. We're taking a bunch of Charisma. We're taking a bunch of Constitution. And then we're taking a little bit of Strength so that we don't get like enfeebled. We're taking these as all Charisma. All Charisma, thank you very much. And a couple more skill points. So yeah, that'll be that. And over here. Maximize. Where is it? Quicken. Empower. Do we want spell focus? Probably not. We're mostly buffing. So we can take Empower Healing if we want, although it won't help us that much. We don't have that many spells we're casting. We can take Extend because we'll be casting stuff like Rage and Haste, which do like Extend. Also, if we're worried about it, worried about like spell points, we can take Mental Toughness, and we can take Normal Toughness. I might be missing something crucial here, but like normally on like main servers, this is where you take like Completionist. It's where you would take Past Life Wizard, but we have extra slots, so Toughness, Mental Toughness. all things that are very handy on hardcore. So yeah, that's about it for Bard. Bard is, again, relatively straightforward. So we will save. HC Bard support. Save. Onward to the next class. Okay. Neutral. Cleric. So Cleric can do some stuff. We're going to pick Blood of Vol. We're going to pick Blood of Vol for Blood is the Life. This is an excellent defensive cooldown, as long as you remember to hit it. But yeah, 4 Constitution, 100 Fort, 10 to Fort saves, PRR, and MRR. Yeah. This is very nice. We don't care about the vampirism. You get the effects of everything except the vampirism regardless of weapon, so you do not need to use a dagger to use this. Now, what do we want to be for the cleric? Do we want to stick with human? We can stick with human. Alright, we're going to go wisdom. So, the question is, what domain do we want? And this is actually a fairly large question, because there's a lot of good domains. I mean, there's a lot of bad domains too, but... like, do we want to go healing domain? The answer is no, because it's bad. But we're actually going to go animal domain. We'll be able to turn animals, which is, you know, situationally useful. The real reason that we're taking animal domain is for one of the later feats, which is this: 10 hit points per cleric level, which makes us like a favored soul, kind of. And yeah, you get that at level 5. So at level 5, just for hitting level 5, you get 50 extra hit points. So that's why we're taking that. This gives Fort Bypass, which we don't care about. And this gives Wings at 14. So, yeah. I mean, technically it's an attack, not wings, but it is a dash. Plus it's a trip on a wisdom. So, you need to be holding a melee weapon, but that will not be a problem for us. So, what are we doing? We are taking wisdom. We're taking constitution. We are going to take a little bit of charisma. We're going to take strength, so we don't get enfeebled. And we're going to take charisma for a little bit of turning. So, what do we want to build this as? Well, we have Radiant Servant, which means turning undead, which is relatively strong early on, if you get, like, a turning ability. We have War Priest. War Priest has access to Divine Intervention, which is incredibly strong. So we're actually going to go deep into War Priest for Divine Intervention, even though that's not what we're actually going to be playing as. We'll be playing as a nuker, but we're going to come over here, and we're going to be a War Priest. So we'll take health, because health is universally useful. When we heal people, they get buffs, or we get these. Yeah. We'll take that. We get some damage reduction. Damage reduction is nice. We get PRR. PRR is universally useful. You will take Inflame. We get a buff we can pop for PRR. So we get more Inflame. We get more Wisdom. We don't care about Radiant Flourish because, again, we're not going to be meleeing. We will take a little bit of spell knockdown chance. We will get Blur. We can now cast Blur. We don't care about Double Strike or Double Shot. We will take more Wisdom. Silence the Wicked. This is, again, an attack. We do not care. Ameliorating Strike. Again, we do not care. So we'll take Magic Backlash. We will take more of this. We will take extra Search and Spot. And I guess we'll take Radiant Flourish. Take a Mutilating Strike. Why not? We have Smite Foe, so we can heal people by smacking people. And we'll take Divine Intervention. And, you know, a little bit more haste. So do we care about Divine Bastion? Yeah, that's good defenses. Divine Vessel. No. Divine Power. No. We don't care. We don't care about those. We care about the defenses. This is our defense tree. This is our offense tree. Right. We'll take the SLA. No. We will take Light Crit. Like this. Like this. We will take here, we'll take Maximize and Quicken early on. Where's Quicken? Elemental PQ. Q. We will actually take Mental Toughness here, because early on it'll help to have the extra spell points. So we can come here, we can grab Efficient Maximize, which will let us actually use Maximize sometimes. Searing Light is very helpful, especially at low levels against undead. Sunbolt in our spellbook. Holy Smite SLA. If you take this at level 6, it means dropping out of all your War Priest defenses, so you might want to delay this until level 7, or you can live dangerously and take it at 6. That is up to you. But yes. We get a new spell in our spellbook, we get Sunbeam in the spellbook, and we have 18 points left. So, we can fill this out getting more spell power, getting a bunch of other stuff. We can come over here and grab spell power boost and 20 healing amp, like just boost and healing amp. And we can get more defenses here to avoid getting one shot. And we can come over here if we want a little bit more healing. So, if you take this early, it will let you, like, turn things. Also, having a Cure Moderate Wounds SLA is exceptionally useful from a mana efficiency perspective. And we have 4 more points too, so, you know, we can come 1, 2 here and get Positive Energy Burst. Where even when turning doesn't matter anymore, it lets you pop an extra heal just with your turns that you weren't using anyway. Positive energy spells get cast at a higher level. Martyrdom. When you are killed, 4 turn and end attempts are expended. This does nothing on hardcore, because it doesn't stop you from dying. It happens when you die. So it is completely useless on hardcore. And, you know, we'll just take, Universal Spell Power. There are a bunch of different things you can do in here. This is kind of a confused tree right now. Mostly we wanted the SLAs. Like, if we wanted, we could put stuff into straight spell points instead of crit. We could go the other direction. But mostly you're going to be nuking things with Smite and not dying due to having Divine Intervention. Alright. What other feats do we want? Do we want to grab Empower Healing? We have a Healing SLA, so sure. We can take Empower. We can take all sorts of other things. Again, we don't need to take Spell Focus feats anywhere here. We can take Extend if we want to, but we don't really need it. We could take Heighten, but again, we don't really need it. Unless, of course, we wanted to heighten, like, Sound Burst for extra stun DCs, which is theoretically useful, but by that time you'd be using Comet Fall and stuff instead, so we'll take Improved Mental Toughness. Like, Improved Turning, it's like, ooh, 1 level higher. Extra Turning, ooh, no, don't care. We can take Enlarge, which lets us throw stuff from twice the distance. In fact, that might be better off to take earlier on, especially like by the time you get Smite. Like if we take Enlarge here. Actually, no, we'll take Empower here. I said we'll take Empower here. Take Enlarge here. And we'll take Empower Healing here. Yeah. So this means that we'll be able to Divine Smite groups before they aggro on us, which is actually super useful because it means like you don't only hit the archers or only hit the melee. You hit the whole group. And then of course we come down here and we take our Mental Toughness. Or, of course, just Toughness. You can take Improved Mental Toughness here if you want to as well. But yeah, a little bit of extra health is always a handy thing to have in Hardcore. And yeah, that should do it. I mean, if we want to look at spells, we can. Clerics get a lot of spells though. Like, what do you want? You want Divine Wrath, you want Celestial Bombardment. What do you want here? You want Mass Death Ward, you want Firestorm. Let's see, you want Greater Restoration now. You want Holy Aura, and the rest of the stuff doesn't really matter. Mass Protection from Elements, Resurrection is useless, Mass Spell Resist, and Resurrection is useless, Mass Restoration, yeah. And Destruction, sure, why not? We want Comet Fall. We want Greater Dispel Magic for Spell Wards. We want Heal. We might want Harm in case we want to heal undead people in our party. And we'll take Sunbeam. Sure. 5. We'll take Flame Strike. We'll take Stalwart Pact, which is very useful. It goes off all the time. We'll take True Seeing if we need to buff melee in our party. Slay Living might work, but meh. You can take Break Enchantment if you want to be able to dispel things, and you can take a single target spell resistance or protection from elements if you want. Level 4, Freedom of Movement. Death Ward. You can take Chaos Hammer if you want to use it against like Reapers or something. We'll take Mass Shield of Faith. We will take Restoration, and we'll take Holy Smite, of course. And here, of course, we'll take Haste, because we have it. We'll take Prayer, we'll take Magic Circle against Evil. We'll take Searing Light, maybe? No, we'll take Remove Curse. And probably Remove Disease. Even though, you know, you'll have Heal, but being able to remove Curse and Disease is very, very useful. Level 2, of course, we'll take Blur, because we have it due to War Priest. You'll take Resist Energy at this level. You'll take Sound Burst because it's very handy. You'll take Spawn Screen for Necro 2 and places like that. And Seek Eternal Rest for if you want to try to turn things but don't have turning gear. And yeah, Shield of Faith. Where's Bless? Bless. You can use Obscuring Mist if you want. You can use Night Shield for immunity to magic missiles. Remove Fear if you want, and the rest of this doesn't really matter. Nimbus of Light, or Protection from Evil before you get the AoE Protection from Evil. But yeah, Cleric spells are relatively straightforward. Grab all the buffs, grab all the nukes, and yeah, grab all the buffs, grab all the nukes. That's basically how Cleric spells go. And yeah, remember to use your Blood is the Life because it's really, really strong. We took Animal Domain for health, we took a bunch of meta magics, we took Toughness, we took Mental Toughness, and we took the OP skill of Divine Intervention. And this can be cleaned up, but in general, we mostly want our Smite SLA. You can take the points out of Efficient Maximize and put them into Spell Power if you're like just using your SLAs. If you're using a lot of non-SLAs, maybe you move like some of the other stuff over here. Later on, of course, you can take stuff out of Nimbus of Light and move it into Crit instead. There's a variety of things you can do here, but mostly just get your Smite SLA and blow things up. Of course, you could move stuff out of Human too, but as I mentioned earlier about one-shots, don't count me out as an extra 20 health to keep you from getting one shot. And yeah, you get some PRR when you're at low health, but an extra 20 health that, you know, now you're bleeding out instead of, you know, just straight up dead. Hopefully it gives someone in your party time to like throw a heal at you or distract the mobs while you stabilize. Everything along those lines. Now, of course, this should protect you from one-shots anyway, but, you know, actually, there's negative synergy between this, because this specifically says it can't go below -9. So this is actually useless, as long as we have Divine Intervention up. Assuming you remember to put Divine Intervention up, that is. So, you know, we can come here, we can take in some extra con, we can take some extra whiz. And we take Universal Spell Power. We probably won't be wielding an orb or staff, we will probably be wearing a shield. Like, in all likelihood, shield is the way to go. More Universal Spell Power, why not? So, yeah, that'll do it for our hardcore Nuki Cleric. Alright. New core priest. Go. Next. Alright. More builds for hardcore. What is next after Cleric? After Cleric is Druid. True neutral. Druid. What do we want? Do we want a bear? Do we want a bear? Do we want a wolf? Do we want a bear wolf? A man bear pig? Do we want to just steal Ginger's, like, caster tank? Nah. Okay. What do we want? Let's vary up our race a little bit. Let's try to stick to free-to-play races. Is Aasimar free-to-play now? I forget which ones they moved to free-to-play. Alright, screw it. I'm gonna guess Aasimar is free-to-play now. Probably not, but, you know. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. It happens. Okay. The question is, what do we want to be? And the answer is, we're going to be a bear. Bears. Okay, we have a redeem. So, let's do that. I'm surprised I didn't get a sound notification on that, but maybe the scene is wrong. So. Hit things? Bears do hit things. One reason that we're doing bear is that bear is generally easier leveling than wolf because it has strike through. Okay. Tie hair, then put gloves on. So yes, bear has strike through, which makes it easier for leveling, and of course, it's a bear. It's tankier. Now, there are different things you can do with bear, like you can splash fighter on it for stuff, you can splash rogue for evasion and that sort of thing. Although I think wolf does get evasion in his tree if you wanted to go that route. So, this out of the way, and get our timer going. Go! All right. Where were we? Ah, yes. Bears. Bears have strike code. So, I'm going to go into the bear tree. Now, the bear tree, unlike the paladin and the warrior defensive trees, at 11, would Bond 3 give more than... I don't think so. Very little is going to give more than a full rank. Especially since you're 11, so you're a little bit over level. Well, technically you're exactly on level. But yes, unlike the paladin and the warrior defensive trees, you need to have a shield equipped for these to work. Being in heavy armor or anything alone does not work. So, the question is, do we want to go sword and bared, or not? For the sake of argument, we're going to say that this is a sword and board bear. Which means we take extra con. Magical raging. This gives more MRR. This gives hit points, which is a lot of hit points. Now the problem is... Oh, which one is it? Is it Savage Roar? One of these is the one that's bugged. And when you use it, it gradually slows down your client until it's eventually unplayable. And you have to like restart the program. So we're going to take all of these. I don't know if it's worth this for just 9 MRR, but... So we want at least 1 point in this for what? To bypass the Druidico. Do we need all 3 points in it? Probably not. But it's a nice to have. So, what else do we want? We want more hands, obviously. Healing amp is always nice. We'll take more wisdom, of course. More hands. Oh wait. We want Protector Bond. Mutually exclusive with Form feats.
Master and Druid. So while Protector Bond would be nice with the Sacred bonus to health and the Determination bonus to MRR and PRR, it doesn't help because we can't be a bear and in this form. So much for that. And the things that we definitely do want is flight. So we will take a little bit in Wolf here. And we will take... This has positive spell power, which is good. That's bluff, we don't care. We might want the trip DCs, but we'll take saves. Positive spell power. Attacks penetrate fortification, which is handy. And we'll take flight. Pop for uncapped 20% dodge bonus, which is not quite uncanny dodge, but it's still very good. Okay, and what do we want? More wild empathy uses. While in animal form, this doesn't actually help us because we already have that over here. And it explicitly says that it does not stack. It does give us one more hit and damage though, so we'll take it. 2 points here gives us temporary health on crit. Or not temporary health, temporary spell points, which gives us a ton of sustain from being able to cast healing spells on ourselves. Damage bonus on helpless targets doesn't help us that much. Is there anything in T4 that we really want? No, that's 6 melee power. Ignore most effects that would knock you down. 4 legs good. Do we want to spend 8 points on 4 legs good? The answer is probably yes. So we're going to take a wisdom here. It occurs to me that we should probably be getting strength. We need to be a strong bear. Base melee damage and armor class is handy. We can take more dodge. Alright. This has crit multi, including in bear form. And 4 legs good. What is this? Huh. 25% bonus to attack speed if you kill stuff. No. I don't actually care that much. This is spell points and spell pen. This is heal, listen, and spot. Hit damage versus evil. So what if we make this strength instead? Strength, strength. More healing hands. Fear has a max duration of 12 seconds. There we go. Lots of healing amp, positive spell power, and that sort of thing. So, this is our bear. And note that if we wanted to go wisdom, we could do a falconry bear. But I am assuming that on hardcore we do not have falconry unlocked. So, we are going to be a strong bear. So we're going to put points in strength. We're going to put points in con. And we're going to put points in whiz. And then, what do you want the last couple? Int? Dex? That's an AC and reflex save. This is skill points. We'll take the skill points. We want to be able to get like intimidate and jump, basically. So we want natural fighting. Alright, we'll take power attack then. Take bear. Now we get natural fighting. Natural fighting. More natural fighting. Hit wolf. Dire bear. And do we want toughness or more natural fighting? Can we take another natural fighting yet? We can. Okay. Winter wolf. Now we can get improved critical here, or we can get something else. What is the something else we can get? Improved critical slashing, which is probably what we will be using. Fire elemental. And then, of course, our old buddy, toughness. Water elemental and toughness. Excellent. And there we go. We'll take a quick look at spells. Druid spells. Level 9. Mass Regenerate. Tsunami, because it's ridiculous. And Snow Slide. And the others do not matter. This Earthquake, no, doesn't matter. Files of Purity might help people. Heal, might be good. Storm Rage, info needed. Unstoppable? Yeah, no. Not worth it to be immune to heals. So, yeah, we'll grab Howl of Terror just in case we want to drop into wolf form and try to paralyze people, but in general, no, the other stuff isn't going to help. Like, yeah, I can toss Earthquake and Sunburst, but I'm not going to have the DCs for it to do anything. Or you, if you take this build, that is. Let's see, we'll take it. Nope, Elemental Toughness requires Elemental Form. Firestorm, Freezing Spray, Greater Vigor Mass, might as well. Insidious Spores probably won't do anything. Mass Protection from Elements we can use. Generate on ourselves or others. Relentless Onslaught, very nice, an extra 5W. Knock them down, and True Seeing just in case people need it. Or just in case we need it, for that matter. Frostbite in case we want to be a wolf at some point. Dispel for the traps. Not the Vaughn traps, just the normal traps. Wait, where'd it go? Come back here. There we go. Where were we? We'll take Fire Shield in case we need it. We don't care about Jaws' Tenacious Pack. Just in case. And, yeah, there's nothing really else here for us. You know, Mass Vigor. Reincarnate is not useful. Pack Aptitude might be useful. Death Ward is useful. Cold Breath is not. Animal Growth. Situational. Stone Skin. And, let's see, sure, why not? Freedom of Movement. Very good. Mass Longstrider. I mean, people won't have Quivers of Alacrity, I guess. Probably not useful, though. Rising Fury is handy. The rest of the stuff, not really, so we'll take Harrowing Pack. Baiting Bite is probably not useful because we're going to be in bear form. Shred is very useful because we will be in bear form. We'll take Neutralize Poison just in case. We'll take Sleet Storm just to fuck with our party. And, Spider Skin? Sure, Spider Skin, why not? In case there's another animal thing I missed here. Nope. Align Fang might be handy. Of course, Magic Fang is the level before. We'll take Lesser Restoration just in case. We'll take Pact Presence. We'll take Roar. We'll take Resist Energy, I think. Yeah, we'll take Resist Energy. And of course, Magic Fang. It's very useful. We'll take Entangle, which is not usually useful at the speeds people are going, but it might be worth it at low levels. So we'll take that. We'll take Ram's Might, which is very good. We'll take Shillelagh, which is also good. And it's why some people will splash Druid onto, say, like onto a stick build, like a monk. And takedown is a wolf attack, I believe. It does not say, though. We have Great Maul instead of Maul, so we won't take normal Maul. And we'll get Jump. But we can swap these out. You can take Jump or Merfolk's Blessing or anything like that. So yeah, that is Druid. And yeah, so we'll save that. HC. Druid. There. Okay. What is the next in the list? After Druid is Favored Soul. Favored Soul is going to look a lot like Cleric. Oh look, Blood of Vol. The Life. What was this? Fire. Electric. Okay. What do we want our favorite soul to be? Do we want Dragonborn? I'll go with Dragonborn, sure, why not? Just to get a little bit of flexibility in here. We're gonna go all Charisma. Right, stats. Start with 18 Charisma, 16 Con. 2 more here. Some more there, and I guess the last 2 Index. Yeah, we'll go with that. What do we want? We want red. We want maximize. We want Grace of Battle. We want quicken. To hide all the martial weapon proficiencies. So that they stop showing up and making you have to scroll extra. Go away proficiencies. I want for you, I will specifically seek you out. Okay. Now where were we? Oh yes, Quicken. We take Acid Absorption for anti-dot protection early on. We're going to take Empower. We're going to select the extra health. Yes, because it's hardcore, we will take extra health. And then with those 3 meta magics, we are free to do whatever we want with the rest. And by whatever we want with the rest, I mean we're going to take toughness. That's what we're going to do. Do we need mental toughness? No. We're a favored soul. We have tons of extra spell points. We just take toughness. We don't need heighten. We don't need extend. We don't need any of that. We need to not die. So we take toughness. Oh look, War Soul. It's the same tree. I wonder what we're going to take. Are you surprised? I for one am shocked. Shocked. Well, not that shocked. How could he take the exact same thing on 2 builds? It doesn't make any sense. Well, lots of things don't make sense. Oh. Yeah, no. This isn't the same. In Cleric, this was defensive. In Favored Soul, it's offensive. I don't need Double Strike, Double Shot, and Seeker. Yeah. No. and no. So, then we can come over here to Angel of Vengeance. Once again, get to drop points in a bunch of different places. We have saving throws. We have stacking spell power. We have extra stuff to saves. So we can either get sustain here from temp health, or we can get power here. We'll get a little bit of power. Just a wee bit of power, you know. Just as a treat. And because we don't have as good SLAs as a Favored Soul, we really do want our efficient maximize stuff going on. Extra caster levels. Alright, I don't know what it was dinging at me about, but it's apparently unhappy about something. Alright, Vengeful Magic, of course, which is nice. Now we can't take our T5s because we took this T5. Which means we can just kind of fill this out a little bit. You know, get all of our points in efficient maximize, take Crown of Vengeance. And that gives us 3 more points, which means Dragon Breath, and not enough points to come up here and get, like, DCs and stuff. But that's fine. Where else can we put these points? We have 3 points. There we go, Good Hope, and PRR. Now if we want to be like, well, I don't need that extra 2 Charisma, we can take these 6 points out of here, and put them in here. More PRR, more MRR, Beacon of Grace. There we go. We're going to move them over here for a little bit more defenses of MRR and PRR. And, you know, Beacon of Grace. So it does a little bit of healing, but not much. Actually, we'll take Close Wounds instead of, we'll drop 6 MRR for the ability to infinitely sustain ourselves through heroics. So that's it for Favored Souls. We're not going to bother looking at the spells because the spells are straightforward enough. And yeah, so that's a Favored Soul. Favored Soul is pretty straightforward. Not quite as straightforward as Barbarian, but I am unlikely to do that, at least at the start of the next hardcore season, because that's what I played last season. That's what I got my 5k favor on. Yep, save that. New. Alright, what is next after Favored Soul? Fighter. Blech. Okay, here's the problem with Fighter. Fighter's gonna die. Fighter is going to die. Because Fighter has no way to handle healing themselves. So, what we're going to do, we're going to be Azamar. We're going to have hands to heal ourselves with. So, we're going to have this Azamar bit. We're going to get Healing Amp. We're going to get... Yeah, I know, right? We're going to get a Wisdom. We're going to get more hands. We're going to get Wisdom. More hands. This, we don't need positive spell point power. Got just over a full rank from Bond 3. Nice. We're gonna say Protected Bond. We're gonna say Protector, one to will saves. Alright, and Protector Bond. So, extra saving throws, Sacred bonus to max health, and Determination bonus. Okay. So, what do we want to do with this fighter? Do we want Evasion? Do we want to go heavy armor fighter or light armor fighter? We'll go heavy armor fighter because we're worried about spells more than others. And the question is, what sort of fighting style do we want to use? How would I build a fighter for hardcore? See, this is actually a tricky question because I really disliked fighter due to the lack of sustain. What sort of weapon would I want on this fighter? Can I be a bow fighter? What if I wanted to use bows? Let's just experiment here. If I wanted to use longbows, I wouldn't use strength. I'd use dex. So we'll take point blank shot first. Point blank shot. Fighter bonus, rapid shot. Fighter bonus, precise shot. Precision. So what if I wanted to be a light armor Kensei archer? We don't need rapid reload because we're going to be on longbows. Weapon focus ranged. What is Zen archery? Is that hit or damage? Determine bonus to attack, not to damage. Okay. Standard. We don't want power critical or rapid reload. Maybe we just take dodge. I think we'll just take dodge. Or weapon specialty ranged. Take dodge. Greater focus ranged. Improved critical ranged. Mobility. Greater weapon specialization. Shot on the run. Now here's where we actually have the big choice. So we can either go heavy armor and get a bunch of extra PRR and MRR, or we can go light armor and get a bunch of dodge. Let's assume for now that we're going to be in heavy armor. I don't think I missed any of the obvious ones. Toughness. Oh, you can't take toughness as a fighter bonus? Okay, so we're going to put toughness here then. And this gets the heavy armor combatant. No, master. And then this is Knight's training. No. What do we want? Spring attack unfortunately does not work with bows on. So that's unfortunate. Take power critical, why not? Actually, no. Alright, you get toughness.
get... Where is it? Greater weapon specialization. Heavy armor bonus toughness. There we go. Alright. So here we have all to dex. Okay, I dragged something off that I didn't want to. Breakdowns. There it is. Defensive breakdowns. Yeah, 600 health, but that's at cap, so that doesn't help us that much. Okay, you need to do this. Okay. So we have this, we have this. So now we get to look at our actual enhancements. So we went with bows, so we'll say archery. Archery. We don't need exotic for archery. We can take haste boost though. More haste boost. More archery. We're assuming that we are in heavy armor, so that doesn't help us. We will, however, take fortitude saves and health. Strike with no thought. We, of course, get more archery. This, again, max dex bonus and dodge cap. This happens even in heavy armor, it seems, which is very nice. Extra shot there, some extra dex there. That, power surge. Will I actually be able to keep that up, is the question. That I can drink it and then use healing hands. Improved destruction. Take that. Opportunity attack is melee only, so we can ignore that safely. Alright, so this is essentially 2 points each for max dex bonus. And I think I might be better off doing it that way. Okay, so 3 to hit and damage, 20 range power, deadly shot, keen edge, and a good death range. So, had a lot of damage there. We have 3 points here. 1, 2, 3. Take the capstone. And then, of course, we assumed that we were in heavy armor, so we're going to come over here to heavy armor. So, of course, we will get our PRR and MRR. We'll get extra dex bonus here for 1 point each. Extra dex, extra, defense. Your shields gain on Vorpal, knock an opponent to the ground, which is useless to me. However, each core gives 3% fort. So this is 3% fort. This is Constitution. Shields and weapons gain 2 enhancement. Alright, this is shields, so that doesn't matter. This is just saves or threat. That's just straight up 3 to hit and damage as well. And then, of course, we can take an extra con here. We can take 10% move speed. We can take immunity to fear and knockdown. And we can take extra health. Not a ton of extra health, because we ran out of stuff. But if we decided, it's like, okay, wait. This gives 10 PRR and MRR and 5% saves. Or we can take some points out of here and put it over here and get another 10% health.
so, you know, it's better. We lose some saving throws. Well, actually, if we drop this way down to, like take 6 points out of here, then we can get 10% health, we can get 3 saving throws, we can get armor class, which is not really as useful as PRR and MRR. But depending on where you are in the leveling process, you'll probably go from one to the other and back again. But yeah, so this is a heavily armored Kensei archer. How good would this actually be? I don't know. It doesn't have any like big actives like sniper shot. Like the best we have is, oh sorry, never mind, I'm dumb. Deadly shot, automatic critical threat, and an extra 500 damage that scales with ranged, and a good death ranged, which is if they're at low health, you kill them. So there's that, which is really strong actives. What it doesn't have is it doesn't have the extra stacking like Deepwood Stalker or Horizon Walker have. But again, we're assuming that you do not have universal trees here. So that will do it for our fighter build. HC, Kensei, Hunter. Do I think this build is strong? No. No, I do not. What do we... We can take more of that. And we'll take improved precise shot. Not that we'll use it, but... Alright. The spider. Moving on. We will probably not get to all the classes. No Sans Ring for temp health. That is correct. No Sans Ring for temp health. However, lots of party members. So... that is something that really does benefit fighter. Oh, next we have Monk. Monk needs to be lawful. We just played a Monk, so the question is, do we want... what would we want to do with Monk? Do we want a Fist Monk? Because we just did Stick Monk. But Fist Monk is a little gross. And I don't have Horizon Walker to do a Bow Monk. You know what? We're going to do a different build by splashing. We're going to take one Rogue, one Druid. If it stops freezing. There we go. And one Druid. Alright. We are still going to be Stick Monk. Strong. Say Elf this time? Oh, Elf has a con penalty. Let's not. Half-Orc? Do we want to be a half-Orc monk? Yes. Yes, half-Orc monk. Who needs intelligence and charisma? Alright. We want a little bit of wisdom. Not that much wisdom. We just need some. And yeah, we'll grab a little bit of dex. Okay, so... why have we gone Rogue and Druid? Druid? Shillelagh and Ramsmite. That's why. +1 W with quarterstaffs. Not Assassin. Thief Acrobat. Alright, Thief Acrobat. Where is it? Is it here?
Where is the attack speed? Reduces 3 out of all attacks. Go through. Am I looking at the wrong tree? I could have sworn that rogues got the attack speed on quarterstaffs like really early in their tree. Oh, there it is. I've just passed over it several times. So yeah, so we're gonna get attack speed with quarterstaffs. You know what we can actually do? I haven't played it yet, but we can go dex-based Tabaxi. Or is it Trailblazer that gets the bonus dex stuff? Cat. Dexterity to hit with all sorts of things. And let's see. Dex or Charisma, attack. You don't take falling damage. Surprisingly, potentially relevant in Hardcore League. 1 sneak attack die. For 1 cost, really. Okay. Dodge, max dex bonus. Very nice. Deflect projectiles. Well, this isn't power crept at all. Okay, it looks like Tabaxi Trailblazer is the one that's staff-based. So let's build one of those. I don't even know if I have Tabaxi Trailblazer, to be honest. But this is mostly a theory-crafted build, so let's take a look. Yeah, there it is. This one does have quarterstaff stuff. Trip DC is doubled with quarterstaff equipped. You don't take falling damage, you get 1 sneak attack die. You take dex. We take dodge and dodge bypass. We take dex. We take dodge and dodge cap. We take deflect. More speed. Dex to damage. Immune to damage on wooden weapons, which is exceptionally useful with staves. I had to constantly repair on my last life. And let's see, what else we have? Staff deflection. Interesting. Key regeneration on melee attack. Okay. This is a ridiculously good tree. You gain the spring attack feat. Just straight up, don't need to take the line at all. Just, you have spring attack. You use it while holding a quarterstaff, you gain feline agility, which is their sprint boost. And deal bludgeoning damage equal to your jump score to all enemies. Okay. Max of Dex of Wiz, trip bonuses, or be tripped for 20 seconds. This is a ridiculous tree. No wonder people are using this for their stick monks. Okay, so we got our attack speed here, and now we just go into Henshin. Alright, we will select Dark Monk, which gives us less healing later on, but more healing later. We take the good stuff, and not the bad stuff. Let's see, we want Crane, we want this, we want this, we want this, this. We don't care about these, except that they get us to the capstone. We do want that, we do want that, we do want this. We'll take Dex here, take Dex here. And these. Honestly, I might not need this.
because I spent a lot of time capped on key, even not in fire stance, when I was not Tabaxi, so I probably don't need that. Right, we take this, we take this, we take that, we take this. Shadows cannot exist without light, which lets us heal. We take Cauldron, and we can't take this anyway, so screw it. Do we want more in Thief Acrobat? I don't know. We have 16 points to spend. So what can we do? We can go into Shin Tao. We don't have enough to get Tomb of Jade, but we can get stuff like Jade Strike. But more importantly, it requires dodge. Sure. We will take... Oh. Oops. Still need strength for feats. Wait, do I need 15 for two-handed fighting? Do need 15 for two-handed fighting. So much for being dex-based. We're gonna call this all dex. And assume that our favorite tome goes into strength. So we want power attack here. Power attack. We'll take dodge for our monk bonus. We will take precision. No, we won't use precision. We'll take toughness. We already have deflect arrows from the Tabaxi tree. So we'll just take toughness. Or do we want mobility for the extra dodge? Are we going to be dodge capped? We're going to be dodge capped. We probably won't be dodge capped actually, because we're going to be in robes. So yeah, we'll take that. We will take... We don't need adaptive forms. We don't need deflect arrows. Okay, we'll take toughness. We'll take toughness again. Well, we'll take Swords of Plowshares, my mistake. We will take... Looks like we can't get improved two-handed fighting yet. So we'll take toughness again, because we already had spring attack from Tabaxi. There we go, improved two-handed fighting. Greater two-handed fighting? No? Fine. Fine. Strength. Strength. Or do I not have the base attack bonus for it yet? Oh yeah, it only takes 17 strength, but it does need the higher base attack bonus, okay? All dex. And of course, improve critical bludgeoning. Because, and this is all really stacked late. Okay, so that's that for this, and we've got a couple more points to spend. So we will take this for extra dodge. We don't get to use these, I don't think. I'm pretty sure you need to be a light monk to use these. So I don't know why the builder lets you put them in, because they will not actually work. We will put one there. We will get Iron Skin, which is 20 PRR, which is exceptionally good. We get more armor class. We get another active attack. We have 5 points left, so we will grab Jade Strike, and we'll grab the extra positive energy power and Healing Amp. So yeah, Tabaxi Trailblazer is ridiculously strong. I don't think I got it, because I think I got a cheaper version of Isle of Dread. But suffice to say, so the plan is, the next Hardcore League, these are the builds that I am going to try to play. Am I going to start with the fighter, or the one that requires me to buy Tabaxi Trailblazer? No. But if enough of my other builds die, this is what I'm going to go back to. So this isn't just theory crafting. This is the set of builds that I am committing to picking between while we stream Hardcore League at the end of the month. Because they said it'll be out near the end of the month. So yeah, this is probably not optimal. Tabaxi, I believe, came with it. This is the iconic Tabaxi Trailblazer. So if you got the Isle of Dread, I believe Tabaxi was in all the bundles, but I think the Trailblazer iconic was only in the larger bundles and not available from Reputation. I don't think it would be available from Reputation, since I don't think any of the other iconics are available from Reputation. But they could be doing something different, but I do not think so. HC Stick Trailblazer. Nope, the normal Tabaxi tree doesn't have quarterstaffs. It's got other stuff in it, though. We'll take a look at it for our next build. So that was Monk, and we did cross-class. We weren't pure, because we wanted our Rogue for... The problem with Stick Monk is they get their 15 attack speed at level 20. And if these are builds that I'm trying to take to level 20, that doesn't help me. And Rogue can get it at level 1. So... Rogue gets it at level 1, I get Shillelagh from my 1 dip into Druid, and yeah. So, what is next after Monk? Paladin! Oh, Paladin. We have to be lawful good. Thank you. Which faith are we following? Yes, yes, thank you. Blood of Bowl. Okay. Blood is life. So let's take a quick look at what kind of paladin we want to make. No, not the theory crafted one. So, as I said, we're going to take a look at Tabaxi. I don't think it's going to fit well with paladin, but we'll take a look. So, dodge, max dodge in light armor. And dex to hit with that whole list of weapons, which does not include quarterstaff. So we can take that. We could take charisma. It's going to be a charisma pally. More charisma. Dodge and dodge cap. Plus max dex bonus in light armor. Land on your feet, don't take fall damage. Sneak attack dice. Melee attack. Plus 2 W cleave. Sure, why not? Plus 2 damage W cleave, that also snares them for 3 seconds. Well, hamstrings them. Plus attack while flanking. After falling, you get like 25% crit bypass, which is just kind of funny. Deflect arrows is nice. Saves versus traps is okay. More sneak attack dice. Feline agility is a ridiculous racial ability. It's like, just stand still and you get haste boost. Or not haste boost, sprint boost. This is dex to damage, this is melee damage, this is dodge bypass. What is this? Gain vigor as an SLA. Yeah, I don't think Tabaxi really matches up with what we want to do with Paladin here, so I don't think we'll use it for this build. But yeah, we'll use it in a future build. Reset tree. Yes. So what do we want for our Paladin? I mean, the traditional Paladin would of course be Dwarf. But what haven't we used yet? We haven't done half orc yet. Haven't done Shifter. We haven't done Shader Kai, but again, those are iconics and don't start as Paladin. We haven't actually done Tiefling yet, I don't think. I think we did Scoundrel. How about Wood Elf? What does Wood Elf get? Wood Elf has lower int. I'm okay with this. Alright, we're going to go with Wood Elf Paladin for this. So the question is, what do we want for our Paladin? Do we want to do a Vanguard? Vanguard's pretty bad. It's been pretty bad for a long time. But do we want to try it anyway? What would I do as Vanguard? It's not a tank tree. It's like a wannabe DPS tree. Honestly, I'd be better off, even if I want to go sword and board, which is probably a bad idea, but I've done so many two-hand fighting paladins, let's shake it up with something a little different. We will do a sword and board paladin. We're going to be very traditional. We're going to have heavy armor, and we're going to go full tank tree, but we're going to have Knight of the Chalice as our secondary, so we can actually do at least a little bit of damage. A scoosh. A small, just a light amount of damage. So we're going to take... The question is, however, do we take... Actually, if we're sword and board, we can't do single weapon fighting feats unless we are also Bard for Swash and have a buckler. But we can't be Bard Paladin because Paladin needs to be lawful, and Bard cannot be lawful, so you can't be a swashbuckling Paladin, sadly. So looks like we'll be taking shield feats, or shield spec feats. So we'll take extra lay on hands, we'll take extra this, we'll take extra this, we'll take the PRR, MRR, take our stance, take this. We will take Constitution, yes. Take this, we'll take more Constitution. We'll take move speed, we'll take armor class. We will take hit points. We'll take more Constitution. We'll take that, we'll take that, we'll take this. We'll take 1 point in this, I think. Actually, yeah, that's a lot of MRR. PRR, we need 1 point of this. Yeah, 1 point of this for the 100 health. Well, the 3 points. Actually, what is this? Exceptional bonus to armor class, spell resistance, and protection from magic missile. 41 points. Knight of the Chalice. What do we want? We need our main hand to be favored weapons. We have daggers because we went brought a Vol, but with the power vested in us, we now have Longsword, Battle Axe, Heavy Mace, and Morningstar and Warhammer as favored weapons. So I can use those in our sword and board setup. Do we want to take this cleave? We will take this cleave. Why are we taking cleave? Well, normally we would be using strike through, but we don't have strike through because we're sword and board, so we take the cleave. Let's see. And this automatically gives us Knight's Training. So if we have long swords, we get extra crit multi. Unvorpaled, Stun, Chaotic Evil. Okay, we got 16 points left. We'll get a little bit more strike through. So the question is, do we want to go up to here? Probably not. Does anything in Vanguard help us? This is 1 to hit and damage as long as we're wearing a shield. That's fine. 1 to hit damage in armor class. That's fine. Fort saving throws, we don't care. This is only 6 MRR and PRR, which is not amazing. Balance, Intimidate, and Jump. This actually might be useful because we are very low on jump. Maybe Shield Smash is better, but you know, we'll take Shield Bash attempts. Stunning Shield. Deflect arrows. We take that point out. Actually, that's 30 healing amp. We're keeping the healing amp. Shield gains threat range. That's melee power on something. 1 to hit damage in armor class. That's not useful. But we can use these 2 points to get 2-second deflect arrows. And 2-second deflect arrows is pretty nice. Now, if stunning shield is worth that, I don't know. We might be better off just getting a little bit more hit and damage. But yeah, this is probably a bad idea. But, you know, sometimes you try out bad ideas on hardcore. Honestly, I should have put points into something that gives, like, Intimidate. Speaking of which, this is not a full Charisma Pally, but it's also not really a Strength Pally, because, let's be honest, we're not going to be doing a ton of damage. But Charisma doesn't help us that much either. So we're going to be a Confused Pally. We're going to get 16 Con. We're going to get 12 Wisdom, just in case, just so we can cast spells. We could probably get away with 2, or with 10, but, you know, whatever. 16 Charisma, and some Strength. So, what do we want for feats? What do you mean select human bonus? I'm not human. Alright, the builder's confused. Okay, so we want Precision. We'll take Shield Mastery. We'll take... I mean, we can take Power Attack, if we want it. Improve Shield Bash. You keep your shield bonus while bashing with shield. Yes. Why not? We're going to go full Vanguard. Never go full Vanguard. And by full Vanguard, I mean we're not going Vanguard except for like a dozen points or so. But still, that's more Vanguard than anyone really should go. Where is... Okay. Sure, we'll take Power Attack. Why not? Why not? We'll say improve critical slashing. Slashing. And we will take Greater Shield Mastery. And of course, our old pal, Toughness. Now, we might have wanted to take Knight's Training, but we took it for free out of Knight of the Chalice. So, yeah, this whole thing is probably a bad idea. But it's a bad idea I've committed to doing if I run out of other bad ideas to do. So, we'll see how it goes. I haven't completely decided on whether it's going to be Strength or Charisma. But, yeah, we'll find out. Save. HC. Pally. Bad idea. Alright. Next! Okay. After Paladin. What comes after P? Ranger. So, what do we want to do with Ranger? Ranger's got a couple things it can do. Now, note that we already did a Kensei longbow character. So if we want something different out of Ranger, that kind of pins us into one direction. Well, alright, we can go two directions with this. We can go utility, like, Paralyzer, and like go heavy on Wisdom and Enchantment. Or we could go Tempest. So I'm gonna go for Aasimar Scourge, which is something I've never played before. It's another iconic. They have bonuses against undead, and they have bonuses to maces. So this would be a dual-wield mace character. Alright. Apparently still thinks I'm human. Alright, favorite enemy. We're gonna say undead. No, I get that automatically. We'll say human. There's a lot of humans around. Alright, so we're gonna start with 2. Let me just double check what rangers get automatically at level 1. Because I know I'm going to get 2 weapon fighting feats for free. Alright, 2 weapon fighting is at level 2. Okay. So at level 1, we can pick up something basic. Like, we don't want point blank shot or anything like that. We don't want shield mastery or anything like that. I think we pick up precision is what we pick up. The other question is, what do we want our main stat to be? I'm thinking strength. So 16 strength, 16 con. $14 dex. And we'll put the rest in wisdom. Sure, why not? Alright, Asmar Scourge. So, we're gonna get our 2 weapon fighting feats. Fine. We'll take power attack. We will take... Oh, we've got so many options, actually. Because we get so much for free just for being a ranger that we can do a lot of things. So we can take the dodge sneak attack or the dodge mobility line with very little penalty. I will take elemental. So where's mobility? LM mobility. Improve critical. We're going to say bludgeoning because we want to use maces. We're going to take Giant, Goblinoid, Lawful Outsider. We'll take Construct. Constructs are a pain to deal with. Okay, so we get evasion for free. We get all the way up to greater 2 weapon fighting for free. We took this. We want spring attack. Spring attack. Don't get it until 12, which is annoying, but... C'est la vie. And of course, I think we're going to fill in the rest with toughness. Unless I see something else that really jumps out at me. Like, wait, what's Knight's training? Knight's training... Heavy maces, morning stars, and warhammers. We'll take Lawful Outsider. And we'll go with Toughness. Okay, so. Asmar Scourge. More healing hands. More strength. More hands, more strength. More healing amp. For 1 minute, your weapon attacks deal extra light damage that scales with the higher melee. Okay. Proficiency with clubs, light maces, heavy maces, and morning stars. 5% double strike for 1 point. Here's your favorite 2 weapon fighting Tempest. I mean, we are going 2 weapon fighting Tempest, yes. That is the plan. And you can yell at me when I do it all wrong, because I haven't built one before. Clubs, light maces, heavy maces, and morning stars. I don't think that helps us any. I think we're going to get all the offhand attack we need from 2 weapon fighting and Tempest. But we do want to come up here and get Destroyer of the Dead. So we'll get more healing hands. We'll get... We'll get more healing amp. Healing amp's always nice. Alright, so we get a sacred bonus to crit multi. And what is this? Divine Form. Must have your bond feat active, that's fine. Mutually exclusive with form feats, that's fine. Toggle 30 spell points, toggle off on rest. You know what? This is a trap. This is absolutely a trap. because I will absolutely forget about it. I will suddenly start moving slowly and wonder what's going on. And then 5 seconds later, I will die. No. No. I'm not falling for that. Alright, Tempest. So, alright, so we want this, obviously. We'll take defense. And, oh, if you possess deflect arrows, it can trigger more often. Okay. Alright. Whirling Blades, Whirling Blades. Don't care. You now treat scimitars as if they were light. I don't care. We want PRR because this is a hardcore build. We'll take that. Again, that doesn't help us any, but we want it anyway. I mean, I could, but I'm trying to do one build for each class, and 15 Cleric would count as Cleric. I'm also mostly ignoring universal trees, partially because I forget which ones I'll have on hardcore or not. Like, for instance, Vistani, I can pretty much guarantee I'll have Vistani. Like, at level 12 or 14 or so, I'll have Vistani. So I can, like, work that in, but, like, I'm not going to have Horizon Walker, I'm not going to have Inquisitive, because those are ones that I unlocked on a server basis with favor, so I'm not going to have them on hardcore. Harper, I may or may not have, but I'm trying to keep things close to free-to-play, actually. So we'll take this, we'll take more strength. Let's see. We'll be in light armor for our evasion. This makes sense to us. Makes sense to me. We'll take this. This looks good. That looks good. I kind of want to take this whole line for extra dodge and stuff. Like, it's extra dodge and it's max dex bonus and extra dodge and more AC and all that. So, let's see. I want that. I don't know if I care about that. Will I remember to hit 1,000 cuts? Or do I want to just go with many cuts? Because 1,000 cuts is definitely better, if I'm using it. In any case, we're going to take these. We know we're taking those. And actually, we should come over here for more defenses. Like, extra hit points and PRR. Because we're going to be wearing light armor. Sneak attack dice, positive spell power. Because we are a ranger, we can cast healing spells. Okay, we don't need this. Because we're not dex-based anyway. We'll take that for more defenses. We'll take Exposing Strike. How many points do we have left? 9 points. You know, it feels like you have a lot of points when you're not dropping into universal trees all the time. Oh wait, there's haste boost here? I just want to take, like, everything in this tree. Is it worth coming up here? Yeah, that's 30 more points, but I need to spend a lot more points in here to get there. So I think I'm about done in this tree. Yeah, I'm about done in this tree. I got my Exposing Strike, I got extra health and PRR. So we have 6 points available to spend wherever I feel like now to just, like, flesh things out. So I can get Tempest Cuts, I can get Elaborate Parry. I don't have Dex, so this won't help me much. It's like, ooh, for the next 18 seconds I get, like, 3 to dodge, and max Dex bonus. It's like, that's not useful. So
So I can either get more dodge by hitting this line with my 6 points. I can get bleed them out. The bleed... I've never been impressed by bleeds in DDO. They don't seem very good. I can come over here. I can get more healing amp. I can get auto recovery from fear. Alright, so I think I'm going to take healing amp, auto recovery from fear, and... we'll take one more thing for damage there. This is kind of half-assed, but probably serviceable. You always take elaborate parry in advanced dance? Really? I mean, in this case, I don't expect that I'll have enough dex for it to matter is the thing. Because I'm, like, strength-based. Because the Tempest stuff doesn't help my, my Scourge weapons, because I'm planning on being, like, mace-based. When you're dual wielding, you can use your dex modifier to hit with light melee weapons. Right. That doesn't help. To damage with light melee weapons... Like, I could go dex-based, as long as they're light melee weapons. Let's check equipment real quick. What do we want? Light mace. I'll just pick one at random. Oh, that's true. On normal servers, you can slot a dex augment. And you. I'm just gonna toss some maces here. Like unenchanted green steel. Just to check some things on them. Alright, so Knight's training is heavy maces, morning stars, and warhammers, not light maces. So if I want heavy mace or morning star, sure, we'll just go with Drow light mace, weapon master. Wait, no, that's what I'm currently wearing. Morning star, morning star. Not Maul. Morning star. Sure, bitter star, why not? Star? Sun Crusher. Okay. Yeah, so these are... Oh, it's still 17-24-4. Interesting. So heavy maces, morning stars, and warhammers, critical crit range increased by 2. Alright, so these by default, yeah, they're 20x2. So even with all the help, it's like, okay, this gives morning stars 2 to range. Greater range? Heavy maces, morning stars, and warhammers, critical threat range increased by 2. Morning stars you wield have a 1 morale bonus to critical threat range. So which is it? Is it 1 or 2? I wonder if the builder's got a typo on that. Suffice to say, and here we have a sacred to multiplier on them. But yeah, so it's only 17 to 24-4 because they have terrible crit profiles to start with. But yeah. I think that's about where we're going to end up. I might shift some stuff around, but this general idea I think is what I'm going for if I get this far down the list. So this is going to be our dual-wielding Aasimar Scourge Tempest guy. He's got evasion, he's got a decent amount of health in light armor, he's got Dance of Death, which is always nice. Save. This will be
HC, Ranger, Scourge, Tempest. Save. Alright. What comes after Ranger? Rogue. Rogue comes after Ranger. So, what are we going to do with our Rogue? Besides trap, of course. So, what have we not chosen yet? What race have we not chosen yet? You know what? We haven't been Feydark Kai yet. Let's go with Feydark Kai. Not a lawful good. Neutral, neutral. So, do we want to chains build? I've never done a chain build. And I already did have my Artificer version be a use crossbows. So my monk is using a build is a stick build. My Artificer build is a sharpshooter build, or is a crossbow build. So yeah, I think we'll try chains. Let's try the chains. So what do we want? We want single weapon fighting. I think single weapon fighting is the way to go. I think we're gonna go dex based, and maybe daggers. Yeah, all right. So we're gonna go daggers. Dex base means it'll be a little bit harder to do our trapping, but we should still be okay. Okay. So we'll take Feydark Kai. We'll take extra chains. We will take Dex. I don't know if that's useful. I don't know if that's useful either. Thrown attacks while sneaking deal extra W. That's not super useful. No. Extra hide and move silently for the group is not worth putting a bunch of extra points in. So we'll just get a shake off the fear. We can't get a full 20-second fear, but we can get a 12-second fear. That's fine. Alright. We can knock things down with our chains. We'll get a sneak attack dice. We'll take auto incorporeality. Take sneak attack dice. We'll take displacement as an SLA, which is incredibly powerful. We get 5% uncapped dodge. And we need to spend 2 more. 1 there, 1 there. Alright, so we can get auto-searching, which is okay, I guess. The thing is, what capstone do I get? Do I go capstone assassin? Actually, we're going to assume that I'm going to do Ravenloft. And by assume I'm going to do Ravenloft, I mean I'm absolutely going to do Ravenloft. Like, there's good gear there, it's at a great range, like, that's just a thing. So if we're going to go daggers and chains, we can do that. Alright, so we're going to take those points. What is this? Your sneak attacks deal extra cold damage. Sure, why not? And no. So we have 48 points left, which means we can go Capstone Vistani. Take Undead. We're not going to go Vistani thing. We'll take Rapid Attack. We'll grab this. We'll grab that. We'll grab that. We'll grab this. We'll grab... no, we're not going to grab that. Grab this. We'll grab this. And that. And... You know, normally we'd grab Fan of Knives for AoE, but we have chains? So, you know, we won't. Of course, we get our crit multi from here at level 12, because at level 12, will we have the Standing Knife Fighter at 12? Very unlikely on hardcore. I am unlikely to finish
Well, depending on if I'm just going for 20 or if I'm going for favor, I will probably get through Ravenloft somewhere between 14 and 16. So we won't really have this at 12. Like at 12, we're probably going to be T5 Assassin, because we won't have this, and we're not going to go T5 Mechanic or Thief Acrobat with this. So that's just how that works. Of course, if we go in here, we are already immune to fear, so we don't need this, which means we can do what? Listen, search, and spot. Because we're not int-based, we might need some help finding traps. We are going to be... Wait, double daggers? Okay. We're going to go single weapon fighting style. So we're going to close this. We're going to open up skills. Skills. Max the skill. Max disable. Max open lock. Max UMD. Max... Where's search? Search. Max that. Max spot, just in case. I know where most traps are, but, you know, you never know. And what am I missing? Jump. We'll be back here in a minute. So, we're going to be mostly dex-based, so we're going to take this up to 18. We're going to take a little bit of strength, just so that we don't get overburdened. We're going to take some int, and we're going to take con. Okay, now we'll go back to our skills. We have 2 more that we can max. We don't care about move silently or listen, intimidate, hide, haggle, diplomacy, bluff. Do we care about bluff? Probably not. We'll take a point in that. So we will max swim, because we will probably, as a rogue, there's a good chance that we will be doing the Crucible swim. And yeah, I guess we'll take bluff as our last one. Sure, why not? Alright, good. So we'll have that done. And we'll come over here. We're going to take single weapon fighting. It still thinks we're a human because the builder is confused. We're going to take precision. Precision or power attack? Take power attack. We don't have enough strength for power attack. Alright, we'll take precision. Sure, why not? We're not going to be dealing that much damage anyway. And music, where are you? Thank you. Okay, improved? Or do we not have the base attack bonus for it? We do not, so we'll take dodge. Wait, do we want dodge? Or do we want toughness? We'll take dodge. We'll take improved single weapon fighting. We will take int evasion. Might be helpful because this is a first life tune. We might need to walk through traps. And unlike on live, where improved evasion is kind of a trap, where it's relatively easy at high levels to get your reflex saves high enough and to have them no fail, that improved evasion is dead. But we're going to take improved evasion because I don't expect our reflex saves to be that good. We'll take improved critical piercing. We will take... Opportunist is the go-to for damage. The problem with defensive roll is that step 1, I have to be below 20% health. And even something that's hitting me for half damage, if I'm below 20% health, is... I'm not sure if it'll save me. So it might be better off, just take like Skill Mastery or Opportunist. We'll take Slippery Mind, though. We are prioritizing survivability a bit more than damage, because, again, it is a hardcore league build. We'll take Greater Single Weapon Fighting. We will take Opportunist. And, let's see. For our last thingy, we can take Mobility, or we can take Offhand Versatility. Offhand Versatility, yes. And our last special... we'll take
Crippling Strike, and we'll take Seal Mastery. Okay. Alright. So that's that. Let's revisit this. We have 22 points left to spend. So we're going to single weapon fighting. We're going to grab another Dex. Going to take all of these because they are very, very good. And we're going to take those. And then we have 6 points left. I guess we can drop them here just for trapping stuff. It's entirely likely that I will put these in early on because the low levels where you don't have trapping gear and you don't have tools and all, you might need a couple extra search and spot on hardcore to find traps. So this is something that I'll probably spec into and out of depending on if I need them or not. And so I'll go back and forth between extra damage and that. This is dead. This is dumb that I don't have 2 points in here. Just take these points out. What is this? Melee power and stack and dodge. I mean, it's cool and all, but I need a bunch more points in the tree for it, and they all went to Vistani instead. And chains. So yeah, that is my my probably a bad idea dagger chains build for Rogue. If you've just joined in, since I've seen the numbers go up a little bit, I am doing one build for each class, and once Hardcore League starts, these are the builds I'm going to be choosing between. So if I die 14 times, I will play every one of these builds on Hardcore. Chances of me keeping playing Hardcore after dying 10 times are a little low, but you know, there is a chance. Alright, what comes after Rogue? Sorcerer? QRS? Nope, still thinks I'm human. Okay, we want Sorcerer. Sorcerers, they really only got one thing that they do. But we're going to change it up a little bit. Let's see, we already did a Tiefling. Half-Orc Sorcerer. No. I don't hate myself that much. We'll do Drow. I haven't done a Drow yet. And their main drawback of only being able to do 28-point builds and having fewer points than others, well, it's hardcore! Warforged EK Sorc. I mean, that is definitely a good way to go. Let's see, have I done that before? I did an Eldritch Knight build last Hardcore League, but I was Wizard, not Sorc. And you know what? I have done a bunch of blasting Sorcs before, so maybe I will go back to Eldritch Knight, although I have played Eldritch Knight recently. What I haven't done is a two-hand fighting Eldritch Knight, so we're going to go with that. Let's see, Blade Forge requires Paladin, so we'll go basic Warforged. No, not neutral good. True neutral. We'll go there. We need some charisma to be able to cast spells. Let's see. To cast all of our spells, we need 19 total charisma. We will get 6 from an item and 2 from guild buffs. So yeah, 12 charisma should be enough. We'll grab Int for a couple more skill points. Sure, why not? Okay. We want two-hand fighting. We'll take power attack. We can't get improved two-hand fighting yet. So I think we'll just take toughness here. Now we get improved two-hand fighting? No, we still don't have enough base attack bonus. What else do we want? Ethereal Body? Or adamantine body, maybe? By level 9, will I have enough points in Eldritch Knight to not... Oh, you went all charisma based? That's a little bit harder on hardcore because I need strength for feats. Especially as Warforged, like, charisma is kind of low. Alright, this... Alright, so at level 6, I get rid of 15% arcane spell failure. Alright, so I can't really take adamantine body until 12. Because then I'll be able to bypass the check. This is a dead feat. It's like, you no longer suffer arcane spell failure from light armor, medium armor, or mithril body. It's like, mithril body only has like 15% spell failure. And that's taken care of by the 3rd core. So, like, this is only relevant if you only have like 4 levels in Sorc. Alright, so we're gonna grab that. We're not gonna take anything there. We're definitely going to take that. We don't care about any of the savants. Which leaves the question of where the hell I'm putting my points. I guess they're going to Warforged. Because, what other will I have? If I have Harper, I'm not int-based, so Harper doesn't help me much. If I run through all of Feywild, I could have Feywild Illusionist. Which is, you know, it's got some nice stuff in it. Like, extra hit points don't really help. Shadow Blades, not particularly useful if I'm strength-based. Again, charisma stuff, not super useful. Sure, why not? No, we can grab these, like some defensive stuff, and Glitter and Color Spray, which probably won't land. But we'll take this, we'll drop in here for strength, drop in here for strength. And, take that. Take this, we'll take this, we'll take this. This we want evocation, probably? Yeah. Melee power, that, and this, and that. And then we take these, and this, and this, and this. Do we have power attack? We do have power attack. Adamantine body. Yeah, an extra 10 PRR. And then, of course, we take melee and ranged power. Now, we can take... If we say screw melee and ranged power, we can just go universal spell power and AC and PRR. Then we take this, we get weapon attachment. This is not useful. And then what? More strike through? Perhaps we want more repair amp. You just took 30 for first time since LOD. Heartseed farming and surprised to see 0 legendary XP. Where are you farming Heartseeds? Because you can only get legendary XP from legendary quests. Now there are like 100 something. Sagas will give it to you. I did that. I've heard other people report that, and I can confirm myself that sagas will give you legendary XP. And they don't even need to be like Ravenloft sagas. Like, I turned in Evening Star sagas for legendary XP. It'll work. Or it did work a week ago. Or 2 weeks ago. Week and a half ago. Let's see. I used all my points. Am I happy with this? I can take or leave the Feydark Illusionist bit. Like, it's got a couple handy things. I know it worked for me within the last week or two. Because I also hit 30 for the first time last week or the week before. I think it was last week. And, yeah. These points could go elsewhere. And this is assuming that I run all of Feywild, which is a pretty fair assumption. Like, the odds of me skipping Feywild on hardcore are pretty low, because Feywild is not only good XP, which, of course, if I'm going for favor, which I don't know if I'm going to go for 5k favor this time. It depends on what the rewards are. But even if I'm just going to 20, it's good XP, and it's good gear. Like, if you get, like, a couple pieces of the Feywild set at 5, you're set for, like, a couple good pieces. Will carry you a long way on hardcore. So, not this build exactly. Like, these points will probably move around. Like, I can shove them in here to get action boosts and maybe some other stuff. But yes, so we're not going to take Adamantine Body here. We're going to take improved damage reduction. No, that's not useful. Point blank shot negotiator. Is there anything in here that is useful? Toughness. It worked. Nice. Yeah, it worked for me, and I'm glad that it also worked for you. So, what are we doing? Well, we're taking improved two-hand fighting. We're taking... Now that we're above 12, we can take Adamantine Body. And this, we can take improved critical slashing. And we don't get greater two-hand fighting because our base attack bonus is garbage. But yeah, that should do it for our EK. The build is fairly straightforward. Get strength. Hit. No, not you. There we go. You know, get strength. Get Warforged things. Get some defenses. Oh, you took Adamantine Mithril early and swapped to Adamantine later? That's actually a pretty nice idea, that you take it so you can take Mithril here, and then, you know, you'll have the third core. You'll have the third core, which is enough to take your Arcane Spell Failure all the way down. And then you can swap to Adamantine later. But that being said, toughness is still good at that level. Like, having a little bit more health to not die is nice. So we're going to save this. We're going to go with HC, Sorc, EK, two-hand fighting EK, save. And we get another new build. Alright, what comes after Sorcerer? Warlock. Alright, do we want to try something creative or something basic? What race haven't we used yet? Alright, this time we'll use Drow, since I was talked out of it on the last build. So, let's see. Normally, I play Fiend Lock if I'm playing Lock, because I love Hurl Through Hell. It's an amazing ability. But, on Hardcore, for general viability, I think I want to go for Gulock. I mean, the spells aren't amazing. Like, Knock is handy. Phantasmal Killer, I don't know if I'll have the DCs for it. Unless, of course, you know what? We're going to try something out here. Alright, so we're going to be Gulock. We're going to, of course, as with all casters... Alright. 14 con. It's a little rough. But we'll be fine. Probably. Maybe. What else do we want? A couple more skill points. AC and saves. Because alternatively, I could get 1 strength and 1 con. Or 2 of each of those. So this is fine. We want all our points in Charisma. Skip the burst and yes. That is one approach. I hadn't actually decided on the playstyle of this yet. I have found that the Enlightened Spirit tree is kind of a low difficulty stomp sort of spec. Like,
if the difficulty is low, you are invulnerable to everything. And as the difficulty gets higher, you suddenly fall off real quick. That might just be I'm playing it wrong. But the problem is basically, if the damage can't outpace your ticking temp health, then you're a god. Nothing can touch you. But as soon as stuff gets over that hurdle and can start damaging you, you have a problem. Because you don't have a lot of sustain besides that. We're going to take Quicken. We're going to take Empower. We're going to take... true, yes. So... we're going to revisit our feats once we decide what we want to do with this as far as trees go. So I'm going to say I will have Feydark Illusionist relatively soon. Because, as I mentioned, we're not going to skip Feywild. Like, it's not going to happen. I don't care if I'm capped, hard capped on XP. I'm running Feywild. Like, the gear is worth it, even if I'm not getting XP. So, we're going to build this a couple different ways. And we're going to see which way tickles our fancy the most. So, I don't see a whole lot in the Drow tree that I would want. Yeah, it's like a lot of attack. Like, Darkfire is okay. But yeah. Like, we can get some spell resist. And, like, extra charisma. Which is, you know, okay. Now, traditionally, what I would do... Dragonborn and Fire? I did Dragonborn for Cleric, I think. Plus, I don't think I've played Gulag. So that's why I wanted that. Although Dragonborn, I could, of course, just be Black Dragon history instead of Red. But no, I'm trying to mix up the races a little bit, too, as I go through all the classes. So I know that these are not optimal builds. If you're watching this trying to get an optimal build that will carry you through hardcore, some of these builds will do that, and some of them are more like challenge builds to see if I can. The Favored Soul and the Barbarian are probably your best bets. Cleric is up there too. So, where are we? So, this is why we take Maximize and Quicken, because we want to use these. We want this. We definitely want this for temp health on cast. We can take extra dice. We can take Change Shape early. But what do we want to do? So the main question is, do I want to be a blaster? Or do I want to... Actually, you know what? I'm going, because you mentioned that that kind of build, I'm going to see how I would build that, and then I'll decide whether I want to make that this hardcore build. So this is a dead piece. This is dead, because you won't be running the aura if you're blasting, because it's exclusive with other shapes. So you just have to take PRR here, MRR here, and then you get light spell power, which is not super useful. Yeah, these are all while your Eldritch Blasts are active. See, I don't know why you didn't take these, like... Because there's not a lot else in this tree to take. So Permanent Shield, a Charisma, Medium Armor. Again, the Aura doesn't exist. Like, there's a lot of dead points to get all the way up here and get Shining Through. I need 3 more points, eh? $40 spell points for resist all energy? Okay, it's better than the other stuff. Interesting that these add the light damage to your Eldritch Blasts, but don't depend on the aura. So that's a neat trick. So if we just want to take Shining Through, and Displacement, because Displacement is amazing, Although can't I hard cast Displacement? When Eldritch Aura is active, and Spirit Blast. We might take this just in case. But if we want to say that we're going to spend most of our time just blasting, we'll get this for one more die. We want this, we want this, we want this. We want one more point somewhere here, so we can take Staunch, or Stanch, however you pronounce it. And then we come back over here. Take some universal spell power. We get Fortitude. We get this. We get debuffing. We get Cone Shape. Cone Shape is very nice. We get immunity to fear. We get this. We don't care about that. We'll take Consume, speeds us up. We'll take the Charisma. We'll take this. More fort. More saving throws. We take this. We take this. Displacement is level 3. Alright, yeah, we can take that out. It's like, I could have sworn that it was on the spell list for Warlocks. It's just like, So this is an interesting layout. I guess, in a way, it's similar to what I did with, like, Cleric, in that I was mainly doing one tree, but I'm using, like, the free life from a different tree and mostly taking defenses. Now, what I find interesting here is, like, these separate auras don't depend on this one. Like, this is a separate aura. Oh, you were more Tainted Scholar? Interesting. You went heavier on the dice, and you wanted, like, piercing or penetrating or piercing for golems and stuff. But yeah, this is very much a hardcore one, because I'm not taking any capstones. Like, this split is super, super dumb if you are, like, going above 20. Like, take one of the capstones. They're very good. But, you know, as I mentioned, these are builds to get 220, so, you know, having a capstone doesn't really help any. Underdark with Chain Shape. You ran out of AP for count. Okay. So you went deep in here. Like, this is interesting. I might just try to run this because I haven't before. I think it loses one of the, like... Where is it? This. I consider this to be one of the strongest things about Enlightened Spirit is the constant temp health, much like a Bardic Aria. But yeah, especially like, I mean, it's based off of con, so it doesn't go for that much, but still. And this is 12 times your Constitution. Is it still 12? I thought I got nerfed to 8. Or maybe I'm thinking of the Druid version, which is much, much worse than this version. Because it's a longer cooldown, and it both has a longer cooldown and they don't last as long. So, yeah. But yeah. You know, I might try this out. I mean, worst case scenario, I'm still a cone-shaped blaster. It's like, I don't have wave. But, you know, if they get in close, I can use the Spirit Blast and stuff on them. And yeah, sure, why not? The other alternative would be going into Feydark Illusionist or something, but okay. So we've established that we just want to be blasting most of the time. We've got some meta magics here that we can apply to our SLAs. What do we want to be holding? I think that I get shield proficiency as a Warlock. I will double check. Proficiencies. Nope. Simple weapons and light armor. Yeah. Like bucklers or something if I wanted shields. I mean, it's worth looking at least. It's just that I really prefer Cone to Chain. So if we wanted to go more defensive, we can start taking like shield proficiency stuff, but we don't ignore Arcane Spell Failure. So, and Arcane Spell Failure affects blasts. So instead, I think we're just gonna go back to our old standby, Toughness. Because just like, sure, I could take more meta magics, but why? It's like, heighten on what? Like, extend could be nice. On stuff like displacement. Like, extend on displacement and stuff is nice. But that's more of a convenience thing. And, what else we got? Yeah, there's really not a lot else compelling here. Like, I'm not DC casting, so I don't really care about Spell Focus or Spell Pen. So, yeah. Just more toughness. So we'll save for this. Save. HC. Lock. Enlightened Spirit. Blaster? You know, if it were a valid file name, that would be Enlightened Spirit ellipsis Blaster question mark. Alright. This leaves us with one class left, which is Wizard. Wizard is our final class. Now, we already have two different Warforged builds. So we're not going to be a Warforged EK, which means we need to be some other kind of wizard. Do we want to try to be an Archmage? What is that? No, go away. So, we can do a Pale Master Necrocaster. Do we want to be like Pale Master Feydark? I've not done that before. Alright, we already did human. We want to be half-orc. They're a little dumb, but they've got spirit. We did Asmar. We've done human. Deep Gnome? I don't think I have Deep Gnome, though. So I think we're just going to go with, it's like, we'll be human. Why do we need the extra human feet while we're a wizard? We don't. Or actually, the other answer to that question is, because toughness. We always need more toughness. We are not going to be lawful good. We're going to be neutral. And we already chose wizard. So we want a bunch of int. Gonna go up to 16 int, 16 con. Gonna get 4 points in strength so we don't get overburdened. And the rest, the last 4 build points go into wisdom. A little bit of will saves there. Alright. So, shield SLA, obviously. Actually, what is the, could do Tiefling for Charisma? I mean, I could, but I already have a Tiefling, I think. Do I? I did Tiefling Scoundrel for Bard. But why would I want Charisma? Is the thing. We're a wizard. And Feydark, like, the spells will use the highest of your casting stats. Alright, we want Pale Master. What do we want? We want health. We want a skeleton. We're gonna go Lich form. We want this. We want
I can hold the block button to gain displacement, which is interesting. Let's see, what do we want to start with? Incorporeal is nice. Hit points is also nice. Morning Lord for intel? That requires a heart, doesn't it? Morning Lord starts as Ranger, I think? No, that's Asmar Scourge. Morning Lord starts as Cleric. Probably. I don't know the iconics that well, actually. Cleric? Yeah. Oh, right. So we can take MRR and 1 to all saves. We'll take Cold Absorb. Mostly because I really don't want to get hit by a random light spell and just straight up die. We'll take Necrotic Bolt. Second Shroud Toggle I don't think I need. See, the thing is, I can put a bunch of points in here. And get extra 15. Deep Gnome would be the obvious choice, yes. Because they also get their illusion stuff, and they also get a color spray in their racial tree and stuff. Okay, so we want Necrotic Blast. Animate Ally is useless in Hardcore. 1 to DCs of Necromancy spells, maybe? What is this? We'll take the reactive one. And we will take Ascendant Shroud. And this will be MRR and saves, I think. Or do we want... Alright, so are we more worried about physical, or are we more worried about magical? So we can take more mischance. Alright, thanks for hanging by. Thanks for stopping by, hanging out, chatting, and all that. Good night. Alright, we'll take mischance. And then, yeah, we got 1 point in here for our lever puller. And a little bit more of that, so yeah. Again, probably doesn't matter because these are hardcore builds. We're not going to take the capstone anyway, most likely. But, yeah. So, we're going to come over here. We're going to do Feydark. Take Pseudo Dragon. We don't care about that. We will take maximum spell points. We will take this. We'll take Int. We will get... Do we care about Permablur? Probably not. Blur stays up on its own automatically. We will take Automagic Magic Missile Protection because we can cast Shield on ourselves and get the PRR from it. Now, here, we can actually... Do we want to be a Force and Negative Caster? Do we want to split that way? Let's see what happens. No, don't care. No, don't care. Don't care. More int. 1, 2, 3. Immunity to fear. More int. Do we care about the Shadow Blades? Now, normally, stuff doesn't live long enough to get kited through stuff. Oh wait, no, that's I'm thinking of the Ring of Shadow Blades. This is just a cone attack. Sure, why not? And auto find stuff and automatic enlarge. Very nice. So we have 7 points left. And it's Hardcore League, so even though we're not going to be attacking things, health. MRR. Like, just get some defenses in here. Alternatively, we could come in here for, like, healing amp, except that we're going to be undead, so no healing amp.
In all honesty, though, we can probably take like 6-ish points out of here and shove them in here for extra defenses, because the capstone is meaningless while leveling. So there's some flexibility between these trees. But the question is, what kind of weapons do we want to wield? Do we want to, say, put on a shield? Wizards don't have shield proficiency automatically. So maybe that's what we'll do. But for now, let's see, we can't pick up dodge because we don't have enough dex. So we are going to use our... we'll take Insightful Reflexes, actually. There's so many traps that have reflex saves, and there is a big gap between these. That's +4 to saves. So, Meta Magic, maximize. And we'll take... Mental Toughness? Yeah, we can. It can be a little bit rough on spell points early on. Alright, level 3. What do we want? Let's take shield proficiency. We have general shield proficiency. Meta magics. Quicken. And here we want... we can take improved mental toughness. We can take more... we can take shield mastery, which gives us more PRR. The double strike and melee power don't matter because we're not going to be attacking anything. So we're going to look at the shield feats for now, but chances are we're going to go back and just replace those all with toughness. Alright, standard. We can't get improved shield anything because, well, we can't. Empower. And then we're not going to take enlarge. We're going to take improved mental toughness. Then here we will take... we can take a spell focus if we want. Like, we want spell focus necromancy, sure. We can take greater spell focus. We can take... sure, we'll take greater spell focus. We'll take heighten? Extend? Oh wait, we want extend earlier because we want it for our death auras. So yeah, you'll take extend actually. Yes. Necromancy. I guess we'll take heighten, or we'll take greater at the same time. Sure, why not? Greater necromancy. And then improve shield mastery for extra PRR. And then lastly, we'll grab heighten. So this is workable, probably. The problem is, as it stands now with my layout, I don't have any of these spell failure reductions. I would need to come over here. Well, I can go up there. So let's see. If we take this out, we take that out. Okay. So here we passive double strike universal spell power. So if we take that, then we get 5% off of our spell failure. And then we take the cores. Okay, so if we split it up like this, then we can wear a shield and not worry about it. As long as it's like up to a large shield. Like, we can't wear tower shields, but like normal shields we can wear just fine. So we can do that. And yeah, but we can still choose if we want to Well, here's the thing. Taking that gives us proficiency, but if we want the shield mastery feats, we still need to take the proficiency feats, because a feat you can't take a feat if it depends on an enhancement, because you can respec the enhancement, and then what happens to the feat? So the question here is, I currently have 3 feat slots in order to get, assuming I'll be using a large shield. That's 10 PRR and 5 PRR. So 3 feat slots for 15 PRR. Or I could use 3 feat slots for like 60 health. I think we're just going to go with the health. Just more toughness. We're going to be the toughest wizard there is. We're also not going to put all of our points in strength. We could actually go int or con, but we're going to go int. Int is the plan, and yeah. Save this as HC. HC what? HC Wiz Necro Fey. Alright. And there we have it. We have one build for each different class. Only one of them was multi-classed. And even then it was a 2 splash. Technically it was a 1-in-1 splash. So it was 18-1-1. And yeah, we used a variety of different races. We used some iconics, but mostly not. And yeah, so this is the collection of builds that I'm going to be picking from when Hardcore starts later this month. And yeah, we will see how they go. I don't know which one I'm going to start with. If we actually have a decent number of viewers when we start Hardcore, I'll probably put up a poll to see what people want me to play. But if not, I'll just kind of pick one. Maybe I'll just put them into a hat. But that said, we ran a little long so that we could finish out every last class. And that means that it is time for us to call it a night. So for anyone who is still here, thank you for hanging out. We will find someone to raid if you haven't followed and you would like to. I would appreciate that. Let's see who is on. Wicked Crow is on. Ostrakir is on. Gemini Plague, Hexen, Thunderkiss. Alright. Who do we want to raid? Why is everything loading slowly? Have you raided Thunderkiss before? I don't think so. I know nothing about them. They're on Kyber. They are doing random shenanigans. And they appear to be running legendary stuff. As a shifter? Interesting. Fortunately, they don't appear to be interactive at all. So, but that's fine. We'll toss you all over there.
I'll be right back.
Like, High Reaper stuff. So if you like the High Reaper legendary content, please feel free to stick around for that. Thank you all for hanging out, and we will be on Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines tomorrow. Good night.